All right, it's time to get started. Welcome everybody to the first ever baking stream. We've never done this before. You've never seen it. If you think you have, you were probably dreaming, and it's a very strange dream. Like, what are you doing? So, I will preface this by saying if the sound needs to go up or down, please let me know so I can adjust it. I did a sound test, but still, feedback helps. And then also, you may hear some knocking or banging or stapling or other loud noises, and that's because there's some construction happening just like on the other side of a wall. And there's no real way to schedule around that because it just goes on. That's just how we live now. I am making a pot of tea because that's going to be necessary. This is actually, fun fact, the earliest that we have ever done the first ever baking stream. It's never been at 9 before because it usually takes me a little longer to get set up, but I got up a little early today and I think we're ready to go. I will answer a couple questions. Adam, yes, the return will mean the return of votes. This one I did not do a vote for just because I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this one's going to be okay or not. And I would hate to have you guys vote for something you're really excited to see and then have that stream just be a massive flop. So I figured I would choose for the first one. And then in January, we'll, because we're going to do one a month, and that's my planned frequency. In January, we'll go back to Patreon voting, as it has always been for this first ever baking stream. So that needs to be for about 3.5 minutes. And then I'm going to motor right ahead with making the gingerbread dough because it needs to chill before it bakes, then it needs to bake, then it needs to cool before we can even get to make in the house. So we're going to get started right away, and then after it's in the fridge to chill, I'll sit down and we'll have a chat about all the things that could go wrong with this, because there's quite a few. I'm sort of winging it and also kind of flaunting some popular conventions as to how gingerbread houses should be made. I have a slightly different philosophy on it, and I'll talk you through that shortly. So I'm going to start by mixing my dry ingredients. I am using my regular gingerbread recipe, except I'm modifying it slightly, and I'm also doubling it because I don't know how much gingerbread I'm going to need. Nilsworth, thanks for the super chat. Baking stream, been waiting so long for this, is here. I keep my promises. Sometimes it takes me a few years, but comes back. All right, so I need to measure, oh no, I need to do math because I'm doubling this. Okay, so let's start with 4, oh, I took the cups out already. I could weigh my ingredients. I do have a scale that I purchased for baking streams because I decided that I wanted to be good at this, and then I changed my mind and I've gone back to not being good at this. This bowl will not be big enough because we are doubling this recipe. I'm making a lot of gingerbread. If I have extra, we'll just make cookies. Okay, so we need a really big bowl, and then I'll check to see if anybody's telling me that I'm deafening you guys if you can't hear me. Morning Hazel, looking great, baking with Hazel. Looks and sounds pretty awesome. All right, that's the dream. It doesn't need to be perfect because I'm not perfect, and that's okay, but it does need to be watchable, which is more than I could say for the last set. And I'll also probably talk about some of the fun things that I've tried to set up to make this one better. We'll see. All right, so I'm measuring 4 cups of flour, and then I need to do the math part. So 1, 2, I'm not great at mental math on a good day, 3, and then add in streaming, which takes a few big chunks off my IQ, and this is going to be a problem. So I need to do another 1 cup and then another 1/2 cup. Okay, I can do that. And I already got all my measuring cups, and I think most of my ingredients out. Goodness gracious, golly gee, this is a lot of flour. You may notice that I am untethered. I mean, I'm not going to spin because I'm holding a 1/2 cup of flour, but I can spin, and I'm not tethered to anything. So if I need to like go grab the stool or something, I don't have to like unclip. And I'm also a little less likely to disastrously just like trip and rip it out like I have done so in the past. And now I need to measure the baking soda. I am having the baking soda, so in this case just using the originally designated amount, because I've heard that for construction gingerbread you do want less of a rising agent because you want it to be more stable. So I am winging this by just cutting the gingerbread, or the rising agent, in this case baking soda, in half. Maru, thanks for the super chat. Here's the down payment for my house. So happy to have the stream back. Happy holidays. Well, thanks, Maru. I misunderstood for a second. I was like, well, I thought you were paying for a down payment for my house with your 20, and then I thought it was for your house. And then I realized I'm making a gingerbread house, and you've made a clever joke. I need 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda. So this is a giant Don't do this, by the way. This is a really big thing of baking soda that's just like lived in my kitchen for 2 years, and I keep using it for baking. And I think what you're supposed to do is have one of these for like cleaning and whatever, and that's fine. You can use it as long as you want for that. But if you're gonna cook with it, just like buy the smaller ones. They're not that expensive. Taking my tea out over here, and then use that. But I don't follow my own advice. So we're going 1, and then this should be a half. Yeah, 1.5. Okay, so 1.5, which is normal. Okay, and then I'm gonna need cinnamon, ginger, and cloves. And I always go a little overboard on these anyways because I like really spicy gingerbread. So we're going to be adding quite a bit. So I can put this back now. Hopefully that works out. For cinnamon, I'm gonna grab my big Costco thing because that's the thing that we do here is, I mean, I can't say that's an American thing. Back in Canada, we also used to buy just like huge things of cinnamon. And I don't think we even use it faster. You just end up with like a huge thing of cinnamon that you've then been using for years. I need 2 tablespoons, and I'm going to go for 2 big tablespoons of it too. Although they don't fit in here. There we go. So basically 2 pretty sizable scoops of cinnamon. Doubling ingredients in your head on the fly, what could go wrong? I mean, it's usually fine if I'm not talking to anybody and I'm not listening to music. Usually if I'm doubling a recipe, I turn off the tunes because, you know, it's easy to get distracted if you're bumping along. Ginger, same amount of ginger. 2 big scoops of ginger, and I need to be extra careful to make sure. Don't mind me dusting my herbs off on my dish towel. This isn't an instructional stream, by the way. This is pretty much going to be a who's who of how not to do this. And that's okay. You know, I can probably eat whatever happens, and that's all I really want for my life. So ginger. Ginger. The last time I made gingerbread, I had to throw out the first dough starter thing I made because I accidentally put in ground mustard instead of ginger because they're both on my spice rack. And they're both kind of the same color. And I realized before I mixed it with like the butter and stuff, so that's good. All right, that's approximately 2 tablespoons, a little bit extra for good luck. We also need cloves, and that one's going to be a little less. I'm going to do like 1 really big tablespoon, and I'm just going to pour it in here so I don't even need to dust this thing up. Okay. Oh. All right, lots of cloves. I love cloves. They're yummy. What have you ever had with cloves in it that you were like, you know what? I would prefer less cloves. It's never happened to me. New feast, Nate put 1. Spicy gingerbread is the best. Never understand why people make it bland. I am with you there because it's not even like it's a spicy, like a hot spicy, right? Like, it's not hurting you. It's not pain. Why would you want it to have less flavor? I mean, I'm sure one day I will go overboard with this technique and I will add way too much and it'll be just like bitter. There's probably a point where it's bitter. But most gingerbread, I think, is so sweet that you can stand to have a pretty heavy hand with your spices. Okay, so those are my dry ingredients. I now need to cream together my butter, sugar, and then mix in my egg. I'm going to use my stand mixer for that. So I'm going to just throw this on the counter. I don't need flour. Well, I'll need flour later. I'm going to put it on the stove, which is a bad idea, but I'll probably remember to move it. Sugar I will need, so let's put some of this away. We have a good amount of counter space, which I'm quite grateful for, but it's not unlimited, so it would behoove me to clean as I go. Did I just say behoove? This is what happens when I'm trying to do something and I can't read what you guys have said, because you guys usually, you know, it's like a nice normal conversation. Nobody's behooving anybody. Also, I want this tea, but I will have to wait until I get this dough in the fridge because it needs to chill. It should probably chill longer than 20 minutes, especially because we're making constructional gingerbread. But it's gonna I need to bake it and I need it to cool. So, and then we need to cut it and then we need to decorate. And I know that's gonna take me a while. So we're going for 1 cup of butter, which means I'm gonna be unwrapping this. I'm gonna measure the sugar first, which is going to be 3 cups of sugar. I'm gonna measure that in half cups. So 6 of these things because I can't stick a whole big cup in this container. Baking stream, mustard, Birdhouse. Mustard, yeah, well, it's like, so the only reason why I have a giant thing of ground mustard in a place of equivalent, hang on, let me count. 1, 2, 3. Leveling is for schmucks. 4, oh my goodness, 5. I can feel the diabetes flowing through me. And then 6. Okay, and we're going to cream a whole cup of butter into that because this is going to be, maybe doubling it was a bad idea. Like normally when I make gingerbread cookies, I do cut them pretty thin, and I'm going to cut this at like double thickness, I think, because normally mine don't firm up until you freeze them because I roll them really thin, and then you freeze them and then they're kind of like chewy. Anyways, but it is a lot of gingerbread. Like even when I cut them pretty thin, but I also get like 2 completely stuffed 1-gallon Ziploc bags of cookies. Although they're pretty thin, I don't know. I also don't really understand how big this thing's going to be. I kind of do. I have a template. I'll show you in a bit. But I want to have a moment of it's a nice word for this, appreciation for remembering to take my butter out. I took this out as soon as I got up this morning, and that part of that might have been because I had nightmares about this last night. I had specific nightmares that I could not find fresh batteries to put into my wireless mic set. And I was like traveling the town, and this is like a weird Christmas town that had like an abominable Grinch who lived in a cave, and he didn't want me to check through his stuff, but I was like, you don't even have that much stuff. It'll only take me like 5 minutes. I just gotta see if you got some batteries. I need some double A's. I gotta power this wireless mic pack. And I was like, and then somebody's like, oh no, I'll go and buy them for you tomorrow. And I'm like, well, the stream starts at 9 a.m. They're like, oh no, that won't work. That's too early. I'm gonna be sleeping in. So I was on this whole adventure, and that's how I spent my last night. Super savory spicy is what makes it different from just bread. Nomi learned a lot from this. Well, we shouldn't say that yet because there is still plenty of potential for me to burn it, especially because I do not have a designated baking time. Typically, this gingerbread bakes between 5 and 15 minutes, which is already kind of a wide range. But again, I'm going to roll it pretty thick because I need it to not like, well, I don't want to use the word need. There is a significant and non-negligible chance that this is going to fall over and never make it into house form. I want to set that expectation right now. I've never made a gingerbread house before, and also I didn't do enough research. So I'm going to turn this up and turn this on and let that cream. I love that stand mixer. It's like my favorite. Also, this isn't going to be the time to use this angle, but I do have this angle, and I can move this around as needed. I did finally second camera because the laptop could not handle it, but we're streaming from what used to be my desktop computer, so it works just fine. So we can double camera as needed. For I figured that'll be mostly effective during like the decorating portions because you're gonna need to see that. Take a breath. You're right. You're right. This seems like too much butter. Also, it's like riding way up the sides of the mixer. Okay, that's that. Someone's singing outside. Mix in the eggs, so we're gonna have 2 eggs, and I'm gonna look for small ones. Because again, you wanna also, from what I read in my very limited research, I think I wanna use less liquid. And the only liquid in this recipe is eggs and molasses. So I don't really want to tone down the molasses too much because I love it and it makes it really like toffee-like. But these are pretty small eggs, so maybe that'll help. Usually I have bigger eggs, but I have small eggs today. So I'm just going to crack these in here and hope I don't get too much shell in. Oh no. No, there's no shell in there. I really meant that one. And then one more. Oh! These eggs are tough. I love these. I need to keep buying these. I don't know where my husband found these, but they're like, they say that they're free-range fresh eggs, and from what I understand about eggs and from when I used to have chickens, they're actually free-range fresh eggs. Like, they're super orange yolks. They're really tough shells. They're smaller, and they are delicious, and I'm so excited about them. So we're going to do that. Molasses is going to be, again, I'm going to not double the molasses because, again, we need to, like, bring the water content down a little bit. So I'm going to go, like, two big tablespoons of molasses, approximately-ish, somewhat, sort of. I can't bring the moisture content down too far, otherwise I can't roll them out, and I'm bad enough at that to begin with, so let's just kind of like drip some of that in there. Following our hearts. That smells really good. As soon as you open the molasses, it starts like to hit you that you really are making gingerbread. And now I'm officially hungry, which doesn't make sense, because I had breakfast with 2 pieces of toast this morning. It's double my normal toast quota, because like it's breakfast, it's like super early. Nobody needs, or I don't need that much food. I go bigger when it comes to lunch. All right, that's not mixing fast enough. Okay, and then we're gonna add the dry ingredients. Add to the wet ingredients, and then we'll chill. So we just need to mix that together, and then we can chill, and then I can sit and have some tea and catch up a little bit. This does not go in the fridge. So I'm gonna put this down. We'll do this in like 4 bunches. Every time I do this, like, this bowl is too big to like pour out of. Should I just use a scoop? Should I be a mature, responsible adult and use some kind of a scoop? What Whatever's going to make the least mess. I'm not convinced that this is going to make the least mess. I'm really excited about that tea. I've already had some tea, but every new tea is always exciting in its own way. This isn't even fancy tea. I'm actually doing pretty good at sipping down my tea collection, as they call it. I have not bought new tea in a while, because I'm just trying to like finish what I have so I can decide what I really want and then restock those things specifically. Because I'd rather have like, you know, 10 really good teas that I really like rather than like 50 that I mostly don't drink. I'm like a cat. Like a cat? Oh, did you guys see that? I just looked over and all of a sudden it's The Godfather over here. I missed when it happened though. There's a lot of stuff in here. That's okay. It doesn't look like a huge volume. I should mix that slower because it's poofing out. Did you guys see that? Was that on camera? I guess it should be in the shot. I'll have to check that later. I was not paying attention. I was too busy wondering what on earth would make me like a cat. Like, I have a cat, and she sleeps a lot more than I am allowed to, which is inherently unfair. Okay, let's go on and stir. Oh! Calm yourself. You know, if I was being, like, meticulous, I would probably just use a big wooden spoon. Because because the bowl is really full. It's a very powerful mixer, but it doesn't really have any bigger of a bowl than any of the other ones. So getting all of the stuff in here and mixed is going to take some finesse. So let's dump another cup or two of that in there. We do need to get it all in. This is way too much gingerbread. Alright, at least it seems to have stopped pooping. My flour. I sift flour into almost every baking recipe right as he turned it on. I learned to look at his stuff. Oh man. Also, I once again forgot to fix the stream chat delay. There is one that you could do in OBS, but it wasn't that one. I had done it in YouTube, and I once again forgot to turn it back. I'll try and remember this time, but I said that last time. Okay. It looks pretty mixed, honestly. Like, Casey, thanks for the super chat. 1010 flour explosion. Oh man. So this is where. Oh no, not that way. That way. I don't have a super long tether on this thing. This is actually the camera that would not work. This is the camera that would not work on the other computer, and for whatever reason, it works just fine on this one, which doesn't make any sense. Because with the same extension cable and the same USB port, the other camera does work. And this one works just fine on this computer, so I don't know. And it was also doing that without the extension cable, so it wasn't the cable. I don't understand. I need to get this all off of the paddle, and then we're gonna plastic wrap the top of that, try to squeeze it in the fridge. I was going to make room for it before the stream, but I forgot, so I'm just gonna have to kind of shove some stuff around. My fridge is one of those things where it's not like it's stuffed full, you know, there's only 2 of us and we don't really plan ahead that much, so it's not like there's ever like a crazy amount, ow! I just punched the bowl. It's not like there's a crazy amount of food that you need to work around, but because there's not a crazy amount of food, I take advantage of that by having no organizational system whatsoever. So I just kind of like shove stuff in there and then I look for it when I need it, which I can kind of get away with, but it's a real problem when you do need to make room for something because there's just no rhyme or reason whatsoever. I would like to be more organized about that. Like, usually I live my life in absolute chaos until I get really fed up with it. And then I come up with a system and I implement it, and it's fine after that. Like, my cupboards actually have a system now of would things go where. It still doesn't look perfect, but at least I know where to look for stuff. Because after a while of chaos, it eventually became too much, and I sat down one day and I took a whole day. And hopefully the flour that ended up on the floor didn't mess with my proportions too much. And I took a whole day and I redid my cupboards, and it's been fine ever since. And that was like 2 years ago. No. And that. Oh no. Usually when I'm slicing off a piece of plastic wrap, I just use scissors because I can never get the thingy to work properly, but I figured I would try to look like I was like smooth and good in this. So that's just gonna shove on top. There we go, close enough. Good thing there's not too many leftovers. I should probably sweep and I'm going to set a timer for 20 minutes. It doesn't have to come out right at 20 minutes. I could leave it in there a little longer, but but that's like the minimum that I should do. You're poised to catch the flower. Yeah, I don't know what I was going to do if I caught it. For all that batter, she needs a Hobart? What's a Hobart? Someone's in the kitchen with Hazel. I hope nobody's in the kitchen here. There's not supposed to be anybody else in my apartment. There's people outside, and that's fine. They just don't come in today. And then there's a dog and a cat somewhere, but you're not going to see them too much. I seem nervous and stressed. I don't feel nervous and stressed. I feel really excited. I think they're the same thing. Hobart's a maze, obvi, but effing expensive. What is it? That's Hazel. That's Hazel. Noodle salad for my coworkers. I can take you with me to the kitchen. Noodle salad. Noodle salad. What kind of noodles? Like pasta noodles? Ramen noodles? Rice noodles? I don't think they make a Hobart for non-commercial use. I think I am a long way from being considered commercial use. Okay, so for now, I'm going to turn off... Oh, no. I'm having some slight issues with the mouse. I'm using like a super cheap wireless keyboard mouse set. This is actually the keyboard mouse that I originally purchased when I thought I had wrecked my Logitech mechanical keyboard, and I was like, I don't even game on this anyways. I'm just going to buy a real cheap one. And that lasted about 2 days before I was like, I type a lot, even if I'm not gaming, and I still want a mechanical keyboard, so I managed to revive it, actually. I think that's what happened, is I brought it back to life. It just needed to dry. Okay, so I'm going to clean up a little bit. I'm going to sweep. I am going to grab a stool and a cup of tea and sit after I've done the cleaning up and the sweeping, and then we can catch up on my plan for, like, my vision. I want to share with you all my vision for this birdhouse. How do I don't want to get it wet, that's the thing. Maybe if I get like a dry cloth or a dry paper towel. Do I have a dry cloth? Because as soon as I get it wet, it's going to be a disaster. So I just need to like wipe this down with a dry cloth. I've been reading, and I don't really understand fully because I'm not a super makeup person, but I've been reading about how makeup, like swatches and even going on your face, are more effective if the brush is like damp first. And I'd never tried that because it sounded weird, and I was like, I already wet the beauty blender. It's like too much work. I don't want to go back to the sink. Who has a water source in their makeup room? This is dumb. So I never bothered with it. And this morning, I actually accidentally did it. I actually accidentally did it because I had gone for a walk this morning, like I always do with my dog, and it's pouring rain outside. It's super, super rainy. I bundle up in a giant waterproof coat that makes me look like a walking egg, but there's no way to really keep your pants dry. And I was still wearing them when I did my makeup, so I'm like putting on my eyeshadow, and I pull out the brush, and I notice it's got like a lot of red shadow on it from the last red look I did. And I'm just gonna show you. Oh, I know what I'll do. So I do my normal, super sophisticated and classy Hazel thing, and I like clean my brush on like my pants or my sock usually. And it turns out that my pants were like damp. So I got rainwater on it, and then I was like, well, whatever, this seems to be working really well. So that's the new makeup meta, is walk in the rain, and then clean your brush on your damp pants. Is that too gross? Is that too much? Should I not share? I should probably tone down my sharing. Okay. I don't need it to be perfect, because I'm still going to make a huge mess when I'm like decorating and stuff. I just don't want to be like layering flour on flour. So I'll wash those. I need a broom. Hang on. And the fun thing is, I can actually not only leave, but I can still talk to you while I have left, because I'm mic'd up with a wireless mic that better not quit on me because it costs an awful lot of money. Okay. It's a noodle. Pasta is Italian. Noodle salad is a Japanese side dish. Nagasaki salad. Oh, that does sound good. Greek style penne with oil, feta, olives. You have a beautiful kitchen? Why, thank you. We rent. This is not going to... I'm probably going to like have this dramatic, wonderful life moment where I finally move into a house, and I'll be really excited about it, and you guys will be like, why did you downgrade? Because I bet you anything the kitchen that I can afford to get in like a house is not going to be anything like this. But if it's mine, and I can jump up and down, then that's all I really need from my life. So we're just going to sweep all this up. I love having a broom, mostly because my vacuum cleaner is not effective on flat floors. It's a cheap one, and it does fine on carpets, which is mostly what I need to get the pet hair out of the carpet. But on a flat floor, it's like worse than useless. You can vacuum as thoroughly as you want, and you will still have crumbs of like food or cat litter or whatever on whatever flat floor it was. So having broom handy, especially because it's like so quick and it's not loud. I hate noise, which is funny because I'm really loud. Okay, so that's done. This can go up here. Our next step is going to be like the rolling. So I'm gonna need my cutting board. I'm going to need my rolling pin. I'm going to need my templates. I know I do not yet need my fancy foil thing that I saw everybody having on the internet and I also vaguely remembered from like 5th grade. This is just a piece of an Amazon box that I've covered in tin foil and taped down with masking tape. I'm quite proud of it. This is the template that I made in Photoshop, and well, I say made in Photoshop. I found one on the internet, but I didn't like the file size, and it wouldn't let me scale it without keeping proportions. So I took that file, put it in Photoshop, and like traced over it, and then rescaled it. But I printed this on printer paper, and it's already kind of like, it's not moldy. It's just like the ink ran because it got like a little wet. Don't worry about it. We'll need some flour. This stuff is decoration stuff. We don't need it yet. I have the world's most sprinkles. On the grocery list, I asked my husband to just pick me up like some holiday-y sprinkles, because I don't know how I'm going to decorate this thing, but I wanted to have some options. And he said he couldn't find any that were just red and green, so he got me like this giant kit that has all the colors, and it says like all holidays, so I should never run out. You're right, I'm a little out of breath. Have you seen this patch? This is 8.1 activities. Oh, I've been loving 8.1. I'm playing way more than I was before that. I am really weirdly invested in my 7th Legion service medal count. And I know that sounds dumb, but I swear it's true. I'm like, every day I like try and track the invasion to do the invasion on time. And then I go and do the world quest for the Warfront, which it's been a Wrathy that's been alliance controlled. So I do the Wrathy world quest and I get those 5. And then at the end of the day I do all my activities and I like total up my count. And then I'm like trying to like judge in my head, like, oh, I'm gonna get this many from this. And then when the Warfront flips over, I can get this many from this. And I'm like trying to figure out, because I'm saving up for the Priestess's Moonsaber. But I want all of the stuff. I want all the stuff. And I know I'm going to get to 100, because I'm at like 76 right now. I know I'm going to get to 100, and then I'll have like an existential crisis wondering if I should buy Trekker first, who's like this really cute little raptor dude. So I've been into that. I've been spending a lot of time doing pet battles, because I'm kind of trying to chip away at Family Fighter just as I do my pet battle world quests. It's actually, because I have so many pets, it's not too bad for me because I can just now load up the WoW pet guide pages for these and just copy rematch strings as I do the fights one at a time. And I have all the pets for all the strategies because I have, not every pet, my collection's fallen actually a little bit behind, but I have like the major ones. So I just have everything and I just do it and then I flip on to the next one. Because you can like sit at the tamer and queue repeatedly, you can knock out that achievement as fast as you want. So I've been kind of chipping away at that. I'm not very close to being done or anything, but I've been enjoying that process. I need to find time to queue arena before the end of the season because I'm halfway to a hippo and I don't want that to go to waste. So I want to try and, if I can get my schedule under control, which I'm closer to but still not there yet, if I can get my schedule under control, I would like to have a little time every week, like maybe a couple nights a week where I just say, well, after, between like 8 and 10, I'm just gonna PvP, like just for fun. Not necessarily on stream, although I could stream if I felt like it, but because there's a lot of PvP rewards that I want, and I also really miss PvP, and people are saying it's pretty fun these days, and I believe them. So I would like to do that. I like the new Warfront. I like it a lot more than the previous one. I need to do it off stream at least once to decide if I like it or not, because I did it on stream, and I was really more focused on talking to you guys than like forming any kind of opinion about the stream. So I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm gonna wash these dishes because we're definitely gonna need, and then after we roll out the gingerbread, we can wash that mixer bowl because I'm gonna be making all of the icing for this. Once I've cleaned these, I'll pour a cup of tea and sit down and take some breaths and walk you through the vision. Family Fighter ruined leveling battle pets through World Quest. It did, yeah. It's an unfortunate side effect. I wish they had, I wish that what they had done is make it so you get full experience for your first fight against the tamer if it's World Quest stuff. Just like have a way to check if you have an active World Quest for that tamer. And in that case, give the appropriate experience, and then after that, not. Because I also don't want the meta to be just like find the most efficient World Quest and like tamer, and then sit there forever. I don't want that to be the thing either, but at least restoring the functionality that was there before would be nice, but I don't have a lot of hope for that because it doesn't feel like something that would be a very high priority for them. and they've probably got, from their perspective, bigger fish to fry. Peeps are burnt out, more than 8-1 not being fun. I think that's fair. I think that there were a lot of launch issues with BFA that are going to kind of permeate the entire expansion, and I don't think anybody's arguing that Azurite gear is their favorite thing ever. It's just a question of whether you can live with it or not for the rest of the expansion and try to enjoy the other things going on, or if you can't, and you're just gonna either quit forever, which is fine, or come back next expansion, which is also fine. Actually, I shouldn't say that. There's probably one person that's like, Azurite gear is my favorite. I've always wanted this. This is the best thing ever, and I hope they never get rid of it. But it's very clearly an expansion-specific feature. So I'm just kind of enjoying the rest of the expansion, and there is lots going on there. I'm just kind of enjoying the rest of it. And, you know, looking forward to the day when 9.0 comes out, when they turn all that off, and we move on to something better, and hopefully they learn some lessons from this. I don't, however, I am actually, the 8.2 thing that they teased in the Q&A about having it not be about reprogressing your Azurite gear, but more about unlocking specific and exciting things in your Heart of Azeroth, that is intriguing to me. Joker, get off the couch. Go lay down, bud. Go lay down. Off. Yeah. You think I can't see you? Lost my train of thought, but moral of the story is I'm happy enough. 8.1 and Assaults have made World PvP as Alliance so much fun. How excited are you for Culturan Druids? I'm probably not going to play one. I'm excited for them as a concept, but unless I have like a Feral Druid alt, I don't know. Most of my druiding is Resto Druid, and Resto Druids don't really use forms. Marissa, thanks for the super chat. Merry Christmas, I have to go, but I wanted to say keep up the awesome work and have a great holiday. Thank you. That's so sweet of you. So I have some tea, and I need some water too. I am grateful to have good drinking water around here. Like I run it through the Brita filter, which I think gets the chlorine out of it. Not necessarily the Brita filter part of it, but just sitting on the counter lets it off gas. And it's like really good. I didn't know how good I had it until I went to California and realized it's not so good there. Azurite's changing it too. They're adding more stuff that you can get, that you can work towards with it essentially. That's not really tied to gear, but more so your Heart of Azeroth is the way they phrased it. I don't think even the WoW devs are saying that about Azurite gear. Do you have the Hive Mind mount? No, not yet. I don't know if or when I'll be getting it. I mean, maybe at some point. I'm not super, I mean, it's a brain. I guess it's cool. I need to look more closely into what can be, or what it's going to take from me, because there's like a multiplayer part, and I'm worried that it'll be harder to find a group for that, because they did confirm that the Hive Mind mount speed increase will only be effective when you are partying with the people you originally completed it with. And it's not like, I mean, I could do it with you guys, but like the people that you pug with, you're probably not going to play with much. So I'm not concerned about not getting the speed bonus. I don't need a speed bonus. I didn't have it before and I didn't miss it. I'm concerned that people won't want to do the pug with not their friends. Like they'll wait for their friends to come back to the game to do it with them so that they can get the bonus with people they'll actually use it with. I don't know. I've decided to give multi-boxing a shot. Leveling Shadow Priest is fun when you have Blood DK with you all the time. I normally hate World PvP, but War Mode made it to where I actually use it. Well, that's interesting, because that's kind of where I'm at, except that I'm still stuck on I hate World PvP. Maybe I should give it a chance. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to give it a chance, and then I'm going to hate it. And then I'm going to be like, well, this was a waste of time. I guess the worst thing that can happen is it's going to waste my time. It's not like it's going to cost me gold. I would probably use it for leveling, right? Because, like, the extra bonus rewards for not leveling, the extra bonus rewards for, like, Azurite and gold and whatever don't seem significant enough to warrant trying to do it at max level. But while leveling, while sure you may be at a disadvantage because you're not max level, and maybe you'll get murdered if people find you. I guess that's not World PvP, that's just like hoping that you can take advantage of an extra buff and not have people find you. Tried the new leveling changes yet? Well, kind of. Not, sort of. I've dabbled. What I've done is I leveled my Lightforged Paladin a little bit, like 1 or 2 levels worth, with what do you call it? A dungeon and then like a little bit of questing. I tanked a dungeon or 2 on my Lightforged Paladin, and I guess she leveled up faster than she would have otherwise. With only 1 level, it's really hard to tell. And then on a higher level character, I did take 1 character through a incursion, and found it was not that effective, but possibly because that particular incursion only had 1 experience bonus quest, whereas the one that I did on PTR that gave me like a good full level with rested, but a good full level, had like all XP bonus quests, so it's probably a luck of the draw there. 120's camping low levels. The Horde War Progress questline's fun. I thought it was about baking, not World of Warcraft. I feel like I can't win with that one. I feel like it's got to be about both, because I don't think there's a way to win otherwise. Just saying, hey, I launched your work, Michael. You can do it multiple times with different people. Yeah, but isn't it really annoying? I heard that that was like frustrating to want to try and do it again. Blizz suckered me into getting that new shop mount, and I love it. It's a pretty nice one. I'm looking for. I am probably gonna buy it. I think saving it for a moment in my life when I'm proud of myself. And while I'm doing fine, and I'm fine with myself, I'm not proud of myself just yet. So I'm gonna wait until I've earned it. Dumb to waste the 30% XP buff, not like you run into anyone when leveling. Well, I would disagree that it's dumb, just because even if you don't run into everybody while leveling, which is not a guarantee, even if you don't, it's peace of mind that you won't, you know? I really like having expectations for what's about to happen when I sit down and decide I'm going to use a certain amount of time for something. If I'm going to sit down and say, I have an hour to do world quests, I have an expectation for what I can get done in that time, and having something outside of my control interfere with that, when I could have avoided that whole situation by just not taking advantage of this thing that didn't exist until BFA, doesn't make sense to me. I don't need the mount, but I'm kind of wanting it too. It's a pretty looking mount. It's the whole reason you log on. Really? I'm buying my fox tonight. Incursions are surprisingly useless. I feel like the 10% buff would be nice, especially because you don't... the 10% buff might be nice, but it kind of depends on whether or not you get good XP once. It's definitely not trying to replace 110 to 120 leveling like it had before. So I'm going to talk you guys a little bit about my gingerbread house plan with my templates that I, as I said, made up in Photoshop and printed onto regular paper. So I'm actually making, as you may have guessed based on the look of this thing, I'm actually going to try to make a gingerbread birdhouse. I don't know if that'll work, but the gist of it is that this is the front and then the back. And then these, so we're going to make 2 of each of these 3 pieces basically. And then these are going to be the sides, so it's not going to be very deep. Not very deep at all, but these are going to be the sides, right? And then, let's see if I can do this. And then there will be a roof that kind of goes down either side, and then along there. And I'm going to try and, oh, don't fall out. I'm going to try, as I wrote on this paper and forgot, to scallop the edges. I was just lazy, so I didn't do it in Photoshop. I'm going to try and remember to scallop the bottom edges so it's kind of bloopy on the side. It'll have like the hole in the front, which will probably not look like a hole because I don't even have like a cutter for that. I'm freehanding all of this. I'm just going to throw these on top of my mat of roll out gingerbread and then cut them out. I'm also going to try, I'm probably going to have a lot of extra gingerbread, so I'm going to try and like freehand, which is going to be terrible because I don't have any skills in that. I'm going to try and freehand some birds to put on either on or around the gingerbread house, and then if I have extra dough, I'll just make extra stuff. Maybe a cute fence, I don't know. Or maybe I'll give up and put the dough in my fridge and then just make regular cookies some other time. Okay. World of Bakecraft. I've missed the baking streams. Set Nerds Over 40, late night. Oh man, if you check your channel page, it has 2 streams running. Maybe it eats your bandwidth. 2 streams running. What? How on earth did I... Hang on, what have I done? Have I done something wrong? Is my bandwidth having a problem? Is the stream lagging? 2 streams running. I'm not streaming from my other computer. Also, I should walk away from there because it's playing music that I don't have the right to play on my stream. No, I don't... I shouldn't be running 2 streams, but I entirely believe that it's happening. I'm not streaming twice, though. It looks like I have no drop frames, and my stats look really good on my end. So YouTube might be doing something weird, but I don't think there's anything I can do about it. Okay. Nice kitchen. It is decent. Are you going to save extra dough and make a gingerbread bird? I will try to. I will try to make a gingerbread bird. Okay. Hang on. One more minute. Your mountain farms are a great background sound while I'm doing my own. Welcome, Big Lloyd Tree. I know we've actually been 2 weeks without proper mount runs because this one is obviously replacing mount runs this week, and then last week we had the patch extravaganza stream. But we'll be back to normal mount run schedule starting next week. I checked, did not see a second stream. Oh, the Friday stream is announced as well as the baking stream. Well, that's weird. I did get 2 notifications from you this morning. I did see a second stream. Kitty is running a stream. No lag. 2 streams did pop up my notifications. Okay. That sounds like a weird YouTube stream, because I shouldn't be able to schedule more than 1 at a time anyways. Why not do Stormwind and Gingerbread? You are overestimating my capabilities. I think this project is too ambitious, and this is a very, very simple thing. Stream's running lovely. Am I terribly late, or did we just start? We started like 35, 40 minutes ago. We have mixed up the gingerbread dough, and my next step is to roll it out and then bake it. So I guess I should preheat my oven, which I'm not too worried about not having done yet because it's going to take me a while. Also, this baking is going to take me a while because I only have 2 sheets. And honestly, I should only use one because one of them is insulated and the other one's not. But I'm probably going to have to use both of them because I have 4 pieces. I don't know how they'll fit. I guess I'll just take out the insulated sheet for starters. So I'm just going to like have a scoop of flour here that I can use to flour up my board and pin. Don't mind that. And then this goes to 350 degrees. Nice and easy. Here, we'll see what we can fit on this sheet. We might be able to fit more of it than I think. Maybe I can fit the whole house worth, because that's the part that I'm really going to be focusing on getting cooled properly, because it needs to cool for... Okay, so if I'm just taking my... Let's see, if I just take my templates. 1, and then 2. It's like really tight. I'm probably going to have to do 2 sheets. So, and these are probably going to take like 20 minutes to bake, maybe? I don't know. I'm going to make them pretty thick. So I'm going to need 2 sheets, and I'll try and do them at the same time, and we're just going to wing that. I'm going to err on the edge of over-baking them so that they're a little drier for structural reasons, because I don't want them like bending and falling and curving over. And I'll try not to burn them outright. That would be preferable. So let's grab the other one too. And this is just one of your standard old things that like all the way, like even when they're new, they look really old. And that's okay with me, because then I don't worry about getting something burnt and stuck on it. Maybe that's why it looks like that. Ooh, too much parchment. Too much. Okay. I guess I should trim that, actually. I wouldn't want it. I've never had a fire related to parchment. And I don't even know if it can happen, but I do know that it always says to like trim to the size you need. And you don't want to have it like everywhere, you know? So that's probably for the best. I'll keep that there in case I need that for something. I'm going to wash my hands again, because we're going to be doing a lot of hands using. Oh. Old pet dungeons don't work? I haven't tried to enter them, but they shouldn't be disabled. That's weird. Just ran an entire Hellfire Citadel, didn't get a single log. Bummer. Yeah, you're gonna, I mean, you don't need to, but if you want to be more efficient with your time, then you're going to be waiting another expansion for Legacy Loot Mode rules to kick in for that. Because we're not 10 levels over it, or, like, we're not a proper 10 levels over it, it's not gonna register as Legacy Loot the same way that Warlord's stuff, I think, should be by now. So we've got our chilled dough, which is heavy because there's a lot of it. And I'm going to need my templates. I'm going to need a knife. We can use our sharper one here. I'll pull that out later when we need it. For now, I'm just going to try and roll out like the board's worth. And I always find this stuff, I have to like, I guess it's not super cold yet, especially because this is a huge tub of stuff. I'm worried that it's actually a little bit too easy to work because that might mean that it's not going to be solid enough. We'll see. So I'm going to flour the board, flour the pin, flour my hands, and just take like a whole bunch of it because we're going to do like pretty, I don't know how thick. Usually I do like 3 millimeters or so for my skinny cookies, but we need it to, we're making a house here. We're trying to build this thing up to code. So I'm just going to take this, well, maybe a little more. I don't know. I have a huge bowl of stuff. Is it possible for you to use a British accent during the baking stream? I feel like if I attempted to, it would be not only awful, but also deeply offensive. I don't think I can do that. Animals or neighbors? The banging noise, there's construction outside. Not much to be done about that. That's just the world that I've been living in for a while. Run as fast as a mouse, you can't catch me. I'm the Gingerbread house. Don't know if I've ever heard it done quite like that. Okay, so we're going for like a square. You guys can kind of see. Doesn't really matter. I'll make sure to give you guys a better camera angle for the sake of decorating once we actually get to that. But I would encourage you to temper expectations. So we can probably go like a little thinner, but not too much. That's probably good. So that, I don't have a measuring tape or anything, but I would say that's about like a third of an inch thick. Half an inch would be too much. Like it's got to bake still. So that's a pretty good sized piece. So I'm going to try and lay this over here, and then I'm just going to try and cut that out with my knife, and then spatula it onto this sheet, and then see where we're at with that. This is a learning experience. So one of the philosophies for my gingerbread house today is that I guess this isn't a philosophy, this is the reason for the philosophy. I hate food that I can't eat or that I don't want to eat, like cakes that are really pretty but not yummy because like fondant that's not good, and what else, like food that's decorated with stuff I can't eat infuriates me because it looks so good and it's edible, but then you try to eat it and you're just like, this was a waste of my time. My brain got all excited and you've let me down. I hate it. So, hang on, try not to have any terrible accidents here. I'm gonna hold this down. This feels like sewing, honestly. I feel like I should pin it to my dough, which is incorrect, but I feel like this is a sewing pattern. So that's my little first window. I guess I'll only put a window in the front. That makes sense, right? Like birdhouses don't have 2 windows. So that looks fine. I don't know how much this is going to puff up. Hopefully not that much because, again, we have the baking soda. So we're going to take this. Should I flour this thing? Maybe. This is a really big piece. So we're going to kind of support it with our hands. And there we go. So, a lot of flour in that, that's okay. I can probably cut out the other piece. This is kind of what we're looking like right now. It's too blown out over there. What if I showed over here? Nope. Can't see it. Oh well. The lighting in here is really tricky because it's fine if I'm like right here. Also, the sun's come up on that side. Actually, I'm a little blown out. It was dark when I set up my lighting, and then the sun came up. We'll put another one on that sheet. And then we'll try to do the roof and the sides in another one. We'll see if it can all fit or not. So I probably need like another chunk of dough. It's the thing I hate the most about cakes. They're just not that yummy. I've had a couple of cakes in my life that are delicious, but they're not always pretty. They're really yummy ones. The construction guy nails every 5 minutes. I believe, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think they're stapling something. So it would make sense that they're doing that. Flour the hazel, fondant. I eat live fish like a goblin. Ooh, stay away from my house. I've got construction workers in for the gingerbread house. What size is this thing gonna be? Sometimes you just have to hire a team. Oh man. I never actually considered that angle, but I am doing construction today, so maybe I'll have, not that I'm going to, but I could ask for some advice. They'd probably know. Half of the leavening, so it may be okay. Yeah, we'll see. Can you bake me a cream pie? No. It looked okay. Knew the pet dungeon yesterday. Go figure that I didn't have the right comps to complete. With 936 uniques, I bet you would, well, where did you get stuck? Did you get stuck on, the hardest fights when I was doing it were definitely the door, like the door console, and then the last boss. And the last boss is countered by heat up and like lightning shield mechanics. And then I don't remember how I did the door, but those were really the only ones that I found needed anything remotely specific. If you're looking at my video and you're worried about the last one, you don't actually need the fell bath that I used there. I found a better strat, which is reflected in the rematch string that I have in the description. And that uses, what does that use? The torch? No, not the torch. Tinytron, didn't it? I don't remember. But there is a better strat in the description that is basically the same thing, but a little bit better. This looks lumpy. I think it's lumpy, but I don't want to like roll it out too much. I need to make it, you know, that's about right. That's close. It needs silica filling. I love pokey cake. Pokey cake, like the fish. We get poke bowls occasionally, but that's like a fish thing. Fish cake. You can't be, you're talking about something different. Maybe it's poke cake. What's poke cake? Okay, so we're going to slice out this part, and then this part, and then up here. This is probably going to expand out a bunch, and we will have the option of trimming it further when it's out of the oven, because while it's still warm, I should be able to trim it without having it shatter, but I may not. I may just allow it to be a little bit wonky, and then attempt to kludge it together using frosting, because the frosting I'm planning on using has some pretty serious sealing power. It takes a minute to set. Okay, so that's a little rough, but looks mostly okay. I'm gonna hatch it together, and then of course as it heats up it'll be good. So that's my front and my back, and here I can show you. Well, maybe I can't show you. They're over there. They're down the way. I don't have an extension cable here. And then we need the roof and the sides. I don't have the new fox mat yet. Okay, cake you can poke. I mean, you can poke most things. I've met things in my life that I didn't want to poke, but I haven't really met many things that I actually couldn't poke. Definitely stuff you don't want to. I've got a couple of cactuses. You don't really want to go there. That'll hopefully tone down one day. I don't know. I can't say anything. I have no idea. So we're gonna do probably the sides, the roof. We'll do the roof next because that's like the bigger piece. And then sides. Based on what they're doing, I think this might be one of the last days of it being really loud. It's unfortunate that it was today, because while most days are pretty loud around here, most of them aren't this loud, but that's just, them's just the breaks. And hopefully it calms down. But, okay, so we'll do that. So light, sounds like someone's breaking in. I can see the door from where I am, and I assure you nobody's breaking in. Poke like the action. You poke holes in it, and then you fill it with something like peanut butter or caramel. Oh, I do that. That's how I did my wedding cake. I do it with, I mix evaporated milk, no, condensed milk. I mix condensed milk with caramel sauce, and then I poke it into chocolate cake. And then I top that with cream cheese frosting. And that is, like, I don't really like cake. I'll, like, be eating cake, and I'll be like, why did I do this? You know, I don't even need this. But that cake is actually good. And that's the one that I made for the wedding, because I figured at my wedding I wanted to serve cake that people would want to eat, you know, like that they didn't just eat because they had to. So it wasn't the prettiest thing ever. It wasn't ugly, but it wasn't even like layered or anything. It was just like in a flat tray. But gosh darn if it wasn't delicious. So there, and then, man, eyeballing the thickness I think is really going to mess me up. It already looks like the front and the back are slightly different sizes. I guess I can put those in while I do this, and then if it takes me long enough to roll this out, then I can probably use the same, well, it's not going to take me 20 minutes. I'm going to split them up anyways. So I'm going to throw this in, and I'm going to set a timer for like, maybe not 20 actually. It's not that thick. I'm going to start with 10, and then we're going to check it and see how we're doing with that. And in the meantime, we can carry on with cutting out this. So once we have the structural bits, we can look and see how much how much dough we have left over. And then, here, I can move some of the stuff out of your way. We can see how much dough we have left over, and then try to make some birds. Because I saw the cutest gingerbread birdhouse on Pinterest, which gave me this idea. But then, like, I don't understand Pinterest. I was just, like, I wanted more information. I wanted to get back to the originating webpage. And I could not figure out how to do that. And then it wanted me to have an account, and I did not want to have a Pinterest account. So I never figured out how they did. I think I found the webpage, but it was like just a picture of it. And then the whole thing was in Dutch or German. I don't know. But, okay, so that's the roof. And then I want to scallop this time the edge next to you. And I'm going to freehand this, which is a terrible idea. But that's okay. It's the thought that counts. So I'll try and make it cute. Oof, that's awful. Well, I'll show you guys what I've done. So it's, I scooch down over here. It's like, I tried to sort of like, I guess I can try and smooth that out with my fingers. It's not good. Also, this is, oh no, you know why it's vibrating? It's because the cable is running right past the camera cable is running right past my air pump for the aquarium, which is like on the other side of that thing. Nothing is in danger of falling. Well, most things aren't in danger of falling into the aquarium. But, all right, so I'm going to put this on the sheet, and then I'm going to try and like clean up that edge and also fix this fracture that's happened. So that's supposed to be a roof. And the other reason why I've decided to try to shape the edges of it is so that I can distinguish the roof from, I want to be able to distinguish the roof from the sides, basically. I don't want to be accidentally constructing the sides on the roof. You know, they're all rectangles, so. Casey, thanks for the super chat. Is it possible to add your recipe to the show notes so we can follow along in the future? Gotta have your delicious baking pot. Yeah, I can share this recipe. Not all baking streams I'll be able to do that with, though, because for anything where I'm making something out of the World of Warcraft cookbook, I don't know what the legality is of directly sharing recipes from a copyrighted publication like that. So I err on the side of caution, but this is just my family recipe. My document says gingerbread men, bracket Nancy's. I don't remember who Nancy is. She might have been my babysitter as a child. I don't know. Okay. That's the one thing Canada got wrong, bacon. I mean, I'm not a meat eater, so I can't argue with you, but I know a lot of Canadians that would. Okay, so we got this, and then I moved this, so I need it back. Let's just like scoop up some more of that. Lakey roof. I've never tried making a gingerbread house. I've made them like as a child from kits before, but those were always not good to eat. And I want this to be good to eat. So the other part of my philosophy, which I didn't finish telling you, stems from a place of wanting it to be delicious, right? So part of that means it's not going to be very pretty, because things that I don't feel like go with a gingerbread house taste-wise, like I don't really want cereal on it. I know people like to do wheat cereal for shingles. And while that is adorable and it looks super cute, and if you're going for like an aesthetic house, I totally support that. And I should make a disclaimer. I don't have a problem with people making adorable gingerbread houses just for decoration that aren't good to eat. I just don't want to do it here. I respect the tradition. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not what I want for this. So, but I don't want to eat wheat cereal with my gingerbread house. So I'm not going to do that. Basically, I don't want. Like I've seen people do pretzel sticks that make super cute like side paneling for like a log cabin. I'm not going to do that because I want pretzels on my gingerbread. So what I am going to do is probably mostly just like chocolate and icing, because those are the things that I usually eat on gingerbread. And it may not be very pretty, but hopefully it's at least a little bit cute. And then the other side of that is, I wasn't sure really how one goes about, I wasn't really sure how one even goes about eating a gingerbread house. Like, you know, it doesn't really look like you can just pick it up and then start munching on it, right? So I figure either on stream or later tonight, I haven't decided yet. It's going to come down to whether or not how cute it is. If it's really cute, then I might want to let it live long enough to show my husband when he gets home. And either way, I'm going to take some pictures after I've made it. But today, you know, before the sun sets, whatever we have constructed here today, I am planning to violently demolish into pieces that I can freeze and then eat like cookies, because I want to eat this. Otherwise, this is just a giant waste of gingerbread to me. So, I think it would be fun to have the demo moment on stream. I would hope it's not too heartbreaking. But either way, I should caution you, don't get attached to what we're doing here, because I am going to absolutely demolish it at the earliest opportunity so that I can make it into eatable pieces, because I feel like that's the only way to really do that. You know, there's no elegant way to bit by bit chip away at your gingerbread creation. And then, alright, so it looks like my sides aren't really going to fit on here. Maybe if I rotate this. Put this here, and this here. Oh yeah, no, it will fit. I don't want them to merge together, really. And I also don't really want it to be constrained, but it will fit. So I need 2 of these. And it looks like we're doing pretty good on gingerbread. Like, I definitely did need to double the batch, which is good. I did need to double the batch, but I should have enough left to do at least some birds. Maybe a lot more than birds, actually. I have a good amount here. Okay, Hazel is the best knock-knock joke going outside her door. I just keep waiting to hear the punchline. BRB, where are you spending Christmas? So I am flying home, and by home, I mean I live here, but by home I mean, oh, that was too much flour. I'm flying to Canada to spend Christmas with my family up there, which I have not done since I moved down here. I've only been back to Canada once, and that was like 2 years ago or some many years ago for my sister's wedding, and I haven't been back since. So I'm really excited to get out of town and get on a plane. Couple of planes actually, and I'll be gone for I think 4 or 5 days. So I'm leaving this weekend. I think I leave Sunday. I'm probably gonna spend all Saturday packing. So I'll be doing my normal life this week, and then after that, I will be kind of radio silent for a while, and I may get less done this week. I mean, not that I've gotten all that much done anyways, but I'll definitely still do. I mean, we're doing the baking stream now, so that's happening, and then mail time. I promise I'll do mail time. And then probably one more video. But aside from that, probably not going to be much for me because I'm out of town. And then I'll get back and probably try and spend some time with my husband, because I'm not bringing him with me, actually. I'm with all of our animals and the price of the plane tickets and the accommodations that I have where I'm staying, because I'm just staying with family. And nobody has like a crazy amount of room. It's kind of like a couch situation, I think. So I'm going to be not bringing my husband, which I know is a little weird, but it's what's going to work for us, because it means that I don't have to be stressed the whole time about who's looking after like my fish and my cat, because I worry obsessively. So I'm going to take it out for a few days. He will be here, and then I'll get home, spend some time with him, and then get prepped for 2019 Hazelnuttygames videos and stuff. But out of town. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I like need to do or see or buy while I'm there that I've like really missed from Canada, and I'm obviously really excited to see my family, but aside from that, I can't really think of much that I can't get here. And the unfortunate thing about America is that it kind of has everything. You smash it. Don't forget to make a gingerbread wrecking ball. Maybe, I mean, I don't think my husband's going to care about seeing how cute the house is, so maybe you guys can vote. Once we've like made it, we can vote on whether or not we want to see it destroyed. I will still take some pictures. I'll probably go grab like my other camera so that I can take some nice pictures of it, or attempt to take nice pictures. I'm not very good at lighting, that kind of thing. I'm actually awful with food pictures. Like, some people have such a talent for like setting the stage, and they like find artistic pine cones and stuff to like decorate their area with, and it just looks all very pleasing. And I don't have that talent. So, okay, so we do this. These aren't terribly straight lines, but it should be approximately the right size. Again, we can trim it down after the fact if needed. I'm actually gonna, once I've put this onto the sheet, I'm gonna check and see how we're doing. It looks like we've got 20 seconds left on the timer. So I'm gonna see if I can peer through the window and get an idea. This sheet is very full of construction pieces. So you can see on the, no, you can't see. Oh yeah, on the, no. Okay, yeah, kind of. You can see that this one and then the one below it. You can't see the one below it, but you can see it's got kind of like the loopy edge at the top. Hopefully that works out nicely. And then, oh my gosh, the thickness is awful. You can see that It's not it's not even. I don't know how you get that even. People do it. Like I see people in the baking show with like their little thermometers, rulers. I don't know. Okay, let's take a look. And by let's, I mean me. So I want to make sure that the edges are starting to darken, and that needs a little bit more. So I'm going to try another like 3 minutes for a total of 13. This is fine. That's not warm. I can put that down there. And then I'm going to take another piece of parchment. I'm going to need a little more flour, actually. I've used my entire scoop for rolling it out. A little bit more flour, and then try to make some birds. I want 2 birds. I want 2 birds. I have a lot of dough here. So maybe we'll make a lot of birds and we'll just use the 2 nice ones. And then maybe after the birds, we'll just cut out regular cookies. Oh, okay. I love a pic I saw on Facebook that said, if your gingerbread house doesn't hold up, just add a dinosaur. Oh, maybe we should make a little dinosaur. Or, like, what's a wow thing? I mean, it's not going to be recognizable no matter what it is. It's going to be a lump. But what's, like, a wow thing that would totally destroy gingerbread houses? You know? I can make, like, a little horde airship. No, I can't. That's ambitious. I can't do that. Okay. Whew. Ketchup potato chips. I know that that's a Canadian thing. And I had them plenty growing up. Like, they were a big thing at birthday parties. But, not a ketchup potato chip person myself. I've, since moving to Portland, enjoyed, like, we get, like, weird indie brands of potato chips that make them out of all sorts of strange things and flavor them in all sorts of strange ways. And I'm kind of into that. I want a surprise and a thinking experience every time that I, you know, eat a chip. And I don't think that I was really getting that from ketchup potato chips. Get a little out of breath here. Okay. So we're going to try and roll this out. I'm going to roll this out a little thinner because the birds are just decorative. They don't need to be, actually, I'll just use this piece. The birds are decorative. They don't need to be, not floury enough. Anything crazy. I probably should have put this dough back in the fridge while I was doing all this rolling out, especially given how long it's taking me. That would have been better because the butter's probably melting. That's okay. That's all right. So I don't have a template for this bird. And I'm not a terribly good artist, so I'm just going to kind of wing it. I'm thinking birds. I'm basically thinking like the Twitter icon. You know, it's got like a fat little body, it's got a little pointy tail, it's got a little bulby head, it's got a little beak, right? A big murloc, add gnomes, add a long boy. Whew, are you taking anything from the USA to your family that they cannot get in Canada? I should ask again if there's anything that they want. There's not too many things. There's not too many things that they can't get there. Or at least not things that they use that I can really think of. Okay, so it's going to have a, I'm going to do its belly, and then some tail feathers. Okay, we'll come back to that. So far I've made a nothing. Is that set around the edges yet? Almost. I think that needs like another 2 minutes, which would bring the overall cooking time up to 15. Okay, and then he's got to have like a little chin and then a beak. Ooh, that's a big beak. So he's going to need a big head to go with his big beak. And then he needs a body. He's kind of like a lumpy duck. I think I need to merge his tail feathers together because, here. I think I need to merge his tail feathers together because he's kind of like, I bet you can't even tell which of these things is supposed to be the bird. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this. Oh, it's spinning, that's why. This is supposed to be my bird. So he's got like a little, oh, you can't even see. He's got like a little beak. I need a longer tail for this. He's kind of got a camel hump. And then his tail, his butt's got a problem. So I'm going to work on that. So you need to, you know, he's kind of like a duck actually, which, he's kind of a cute duck. This is like a really cute duck, but it's not supposed to be a duck. So I guess the difference between a duck and a regular bird is that a regular bird is just like squasher and with smaller tail feathers. So I'm going to merge some of your tail into your back. And then I'm going to kind of like, there's your new tail. And then your beak is huge. That's the other thing. So I'm just going to like eat your beak. And then, does he need feet? Does he need little feet? What if I like roll on little feet? They're gonna burn. Add a Pepe. They're so poofy. My main is getting boring. What should I do? I mean, it sounds like you already know what you need to do. So you need an allied race alt. So here are some little feet. Oh, that's bad. Why are they? Okay. It looks like a bacteria. Like, you know those bacteria plushies are like diagrams from science class? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna wash my hands. I know you guys don't have a very good angle on that. I'll try to remedy that for next time. Okay, so that is starting to look set. It's not dark yet. It looks set, but it doesn't look dark. Let's do 2 more. Like I said, I need it to be on, like close, not burnt, but firm, right? Like I need it to be firm. There's a second camera all along. I've been toggling it on and off, so that's probably why you didn't notice, is because I can change it. I can also flip it so that that's the big thing you're looking at, and then I'm smaller. I guess that kind of shows you my... And then if I change the angle on a little bit. There you go, you can see my bacteria bird. See him? His feet are a problem. Oh no. Hello from Italy, hello. It does look like a Pepe. This does not look like a Pepe. Alright, I'm merging your legs into your body. If you want to be a duck, you can be a duck, alright? Who am I to tell somebody that they can't be a duck if that's what they want to be? Pepe would probably be easier because I could just do like a snowman design, right? I could just do like a big bottom and a little top. Alright, well I'm keeping that duck because I like it. And then we'll try this again. I'm going to need to get that out in like a minute. Oh well. I just cleaned my hands. Okay, so this, squish it up a little bit more. Oregon duck thematic, make a little raptor. Raptors are kind of bird-like. You can make gingerbread and not just buy the package. I mean, don't get too excited yet because, I mean, you can definitely make gingerbread and not just buy the package. But don't get too excited yet because this may not work. I have not really taken enough care in doing this to be confident that it's going to work correctly. I am likely to have structural issues when it comes to making my gingerbread house. Okay, so this is going to try and be a Pepe. So, as far as I remember, Pepe is just going to be kind of like 2 blobs. So we're going to make him like a little... He's going to be kind of like a snowman, honestly. And then a big fat body. Oh, this is a really fat Pepe. Kind of looks like a Russian doll. Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna take those out now. So that was, what, 17 minutes? 15 to 17 minutes? And those seem like they might, well, they're not crispy yet. It's a big thing. It's a really big cookie. I need it to be done. This is going to end up being close to 20 minutes. Also, I keep opening the oven, so that's probably not helping me. So this is my Pepe so far. He needs to have a rounder body and like a littler head. Little head, big round body. What else does Pepe have? She made a continent. Make a little raptor, a little bit wider tail and no feet. Oh, for the duck? Okay. I have duck sounds stuck in my head because on Stardew Valley I ended up making like a duck coop and I filled it with ducks and they're so loud. Okay, that's probably accurate to real life. What does Pepe look like? I need to look it up. I need to Google this. I think I actually can on this computer. I think I can actually handle Pepe. Wow. Not the frog. Okay. So Pepe the bird does have tail feathers. He also has wings. He's not just 2 circles. He's got like a pointy-topped head. Okay. Got like a pointy-topped head. So we need to give him a little bit of a cone head, a little bit of a floof there, and then those can be his wings. So we can kind of like score a little bit to show that he's got some wings, which will get absolutely demolished in the oven, but that's okay. And then I'm going to make him a little tail. She got scared of the knife. I just dropped it, and I tend to drop things kind of explosively sometimes. I'm a little spasmy. I don't really know why, but I'm a little spasmy. So whenever I drop something sharp, I try to just like get out of the way, because it can and has been dangerous in the past. Okay, so I just kind of gave him a nozzle. You see my, it's not a good angle. It's not a good angle at all. Also, I need to move me. All right, I think that should be finally ready to come out. Yeah, maybe 2. I'll just do the next set for like a flat 20 minutes, because it needs to be baked. It needs to be baked. Angle the tail down. Are those the ducks from your BlizzCon trip? Angle the tail down. Are we still talking about the duck or the Pepe? Let's see. So he needs to be over here if you want to see him. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was like a perky tail. I thought it was like a cute up thing. Maybe it'll make more sense with icing. Just got into Stardew with my husband. It's so amazing, right? Giant butcher knife is the only way to do small detailed work. That is actually the smallest knife I have that's not a butter knife. I do play Stardew, I don't stream it. You can make the wings with icing. I had my first solo stream yesterday, congrats. How did it go? Is that a teapot shaped cookie? I mean, it does look more like a teapot than a bird, doesn't it? Oh well. So we're just gonna keep these, you know? They're not perfect, but we're gonna love them anyways, because that's how I want to live my life. So there's Pepe, and there's a duck. We have a lot more icing, so let's try and make a raptor next. Let's try and make a little raptor dude. This is cookie freehanding with Hazel. My rolling pin's actually a little warm because it was sitting next to the teapot that does have hot tea in it still, so probably not ideal. All right, so that's that. For a raptor, he's got to have a big head and a little. It's gonna look like a. What if I make a raptor and it ends up looking like a bird? And then he's got a little body with like a little tail. And then it comes down. And he's got like a leg. Hey, stay put. And then that's his foot. And he's got like a big thigh. Yeah, good job. And then he needs a hand. And then he's got like a big head. You know, that's not the worst dinosaur that's ever happened to the world. That's actually not the worst one. Look at him. Alright, he's got a little bit of a belly. He needs to be a little fiercer, so I'm gonna like squirch up there. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. If you can see. Not really. I know, camera. That's not bad. I am proud of that little guy. I don't know if he was fierce enough to... Alright, so this is going in for 20 minutes. I don't know if that guy was fierce enough to really break the gingerbread house. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to lay out some parchment paper, set the timer, 20 minutes, parchment paper to put these free-handed cookies on, and then I'm going to clear off the dough from the board and probably put the rest of it away. Well, I don't know. Clear off the dough from the board so we can try to cut those other ones that came out down to size. So that's the end of detail work for now, so we'll just go back to this. So we've got our raptor, our Pepe, and our duck, baby, duckling. These are all important birdhouse residents. And then, yeah, I like that raptor. He's cute. I'll put this away. And then basically just like move. I'm gonna put that dough back in the fridge. I may bring it out later if I decide to make more cookies to augment this, but we should probably try to move on to constructing at some point. We've been going for over an hour. Put this away. Okay. Who's the cutest dino with a big belly? Maybe that's gonna be the new trend. Like, you know how if you want to make something like a cute baby, you just give it a giant head? Maybe next they'll have giant heads and like big baby bellies. Maybe that's a thing. Or maybe that's already a thing and I'm just crazy. So, I feel like this cling wrap doesn't cling at all. I don't know what I was using as a child, Or maybe I just lived in a very staticky place, but it used to cling better. So we can make more cookies with that later if we need to. I like how we just have three free-handed cookies there, and that's it. I'll worry about it later. All right, so I need to basically redo, because this is what we ended up with. They've gotten very big, and we're gonna try and cut them back down to size. So I'm gonna take, oh my gosh, it spreads so much. It spreads so much. Here, I'll show you. So, I guess it's not that bad. It spread quite a bit though, so we're just gonna cut that now while it's warm, because that's when we can do it without it shattering. So I'm just gonna lay that back down. I think it's like a no-no. Oh, that is pretty crisp actually, that's not bad. Ooh, this is warm through the paper. Do this very carefully if you do this at home. Make sure that you have adult or child supervision, you know, depending on who's the most responsible one in your house, I guess. Yes. Oh, I'm not on the board. There we go. And then over here. So we need to make sure that we let this cool thoroughly. I would actually let it cool on my balcony. Sometimes I cool food out there because as long as I haven't left it out there super long, it seems to do fine. And I put a lid on it, like a towel over it or something. But that seems to be the best way to cool things, but it's like pouring rain outside, so I'm gonna not. So I need to try and, oh, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. Smooth this out. Maybe I can like smooth it out with a spoon. We can like scoop some of that out for my little birdhouse hole. And I use my fingers to kind of like, yeah, I mean, that's a hole. You could fit a bird in there. Well, actually you couldn't, but birds are tiny. You could fit a hummingbird in there. Oh, I should have made a hummingbird. Oh no, the bottom broke up. We'll do repairs as needed for these things. So now that I've got that, I guess I'll just let it sit there for a second. It'll be easier to move the cooler it gets, I think. So we'll just let it sit there for a second, but we'll eventually try to move it onto a cooling rack. So here, this. You know, I haven't checked chat in a while, so it could be just filled with people being like, no, don't cut it. You'll ruin the something. Usually in the baking show, when they like cut something, they almost always say like, oh, I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyways. But the important thing is it smells really good, and it seems like, and I'm gonna eat some of these like rejects. I'm gonna eat some of the trimmings. It seems like they're a good consistency. Like they've got like some chewiness to them, but they seem stiff enough to like hold, hopefully. They're not gonna be very heavy. Looks like Barney. This pizza looks strange. Like your appliances. The stainless steel look is nice, but these appliances are a little too smart for their own good. They have issues sometimes because of it. I see no supervision. You like the smell of rain, but you don't know if you like the taste of rain. Probably depends on where you live as to what the rain tastes like. I got a lot of rain on my face today, and I got it on my face after I had already done like my whole skincare routine, so I was just assuming that like you always see beauty gurus like spraying their faces with water, and like or at least I know that's a thing, like you can buy water in a spray bottle just to spray your face. So I figure I don't know, I put all this cookie into my hand and I don't have a plan for where I'm gonna put it. I don't know. I didn't think this through. I'll put it here for now, but I'll have to move that because I don't want to bake it again. Okay, so I need to find a spot to set up my cooling rack. Okay, there we go. And then move these, because we're still going to need to mix up icing once this gets a little cooler. I figure I'm going to try to decorate the panels, so the roof, and I'm going to try and decorate the panels, like put on windows, decorate the roof with like some little shingles, with icing, mind you, first. So we'll mix up a non-structural decoration icing. Color it if we want to. And then do that while it's flat, and we'll assemble it kind of at the end. Was that Mary Berry's voice? She cut it, bad juju. Watching the stream made me so hungry I had to go get food. I'm so hungry now, rogues will steal them. Glad to see the baking streams back. I have not gotten my hive mind mount yet, no. Rain would taste weird. I didn't have lunch, this is making me super hungry. Yeah. I mean, I can't complain because I can eat bits of it. Streamer privilege. Who's lucky now? Okay. I'm gonna lift. This is a bad idea. I'm gonna lift with this parchment to transfer it, and then I'm going to kind of like slide it out. Slide it out. So those pieces look good. They look about the right thickness. They feel baked. I know they need to cool in order to get fully solidified, because that's how it usually works. Usually my cookies get really stiff after I even freeze them. I could freeze them. I'm not going to freeze them. Well, I could freeze them. I don't know. I'll just let them cool for now, because we need to decorate them, but not yet. The sides and the roof are still baking. I'm actually just going to throw in... I'm just going to throw in the... here, I'm going to put my cookie rejects on this parchment. And then I'm going to move those. I feel like those are, they look like biscotti, but they're made of gingerbread. Like the slicing bits. Like, doesn't that look like a nice piece of like dipping biscotti? Make myself hungry. And then put my 3 cookies, my 3 little cookies there. So those will need less time. Those can probably actually get done in the 12 minutes that's left. So I'm gonna throw those in, maybe even less actually. Well, they're a decent thickness. And they're going on the bottom rack, so. I'm gonna throw those bottom rack, let them bake for the 12 minutes that are left on that baking time. And then that'll be all of my gingerbread baked. I'm going to eat these rejects. Is that a reusable straw? Do you like using one? Oh yeah. I have a whole set of these. They're not very expensive on Amazon. It's a reusable stainless steel, and I originally got it just because I didn't want to go through a whole bunch of straws, and I like having, or not even because I didn't want to go through straws, so that's also true. Saving the environment is important. But I got them because I didn't want to use a plastic straw with a hot drink, and I wanted to use straws with hot drinks, tea specifically, so it worked out for that too. Powdered sugar and lemon juice icing. I do have lemon juice, but it's not very good. I'm out of lemons. I actually had lemons that I used to make these little lemon tarts, because I actually had I don't know if you can call it a dinner party. We had a friend over for dinner, which never happens, but we invited a friend over for dinner so we can give him like his Christmas presents. And I made some food, so I made like the Caldore pine bread from the cookbook. I got 1 piece of that left that I'm gonna have with lunch. I made like lemon tarts. I made a quiche, and we like had dinner and hung out and watched a movie and had some drinks, and that was a whole thing. But I used my last lemons making those tarts. Did you remember it had nanites? No, Hazel, that's just mean. So 181, my PC will have frame stutters like the whole game audio. Definitely on the client side. Any of you got that? Has not happened to me, but Adam's got a good point. Make sure you update your drivers. Facial mist, I use it for my brushes. That's probably a better idea. Usually I have like the grape water. I don't know if I'll buy it again, because honestly it was like, I just paid for grape water, but it's like the Caudalie grape water mist. And what I do with that is I put it on after my toner and before my moisturizing serum, because it helps my serum spread around better so that I don't have to use very much of it, because that stuff's expensive and I don't want to be pouring it on my face. Have you ever mixed lemonade and sweet tea? I don't think I have, no. Thanks for being a beacon of energy. You got it. It's good for me too. It's good for me too to try and be positive. Okay, so what's actually my next step? Should we mix up icing? I want to make sure that this stuff, like, I don't want to be rushing it. This is still warm, but it's going to take me a while to mix it. I'm probably going to mix the icing and then separate it. We should figure out my color. I should figure out my color story. My color plan. So I have 4 different colors and I could mix them. I have pink, blue, green, and purple, which aren't terribly, I guess I can just use the pink and green because that's kind of close to Christmas colors. So I'm also thinking just kind of white icing, honestly. Like, that's a pretty classic look. Proud of you for socializing and all. To roll out of bed and start my day. Caudalie, love that line. I like the way the products work, mostly, aside from the grape water. I've never actually bought anything. I usually get it at samples because that stuff's expensive. But I don't like the way it smells. Like, I know it's supposed to be authentic and stuff, and it probably smells like grapes, but I guess I don't like the way grapes smell. I don't know. She makes the skin mist things herself. Oh, that's not a bad idea, actually, because it seems like you would just need to spray your face with water. So I don't think it really matters if it came from a grape or not. Hazel stole my energy, give it back. That's an Arnold Palmer. Lemon and tea. Doesn't there need to be alcohol in something for it to have a special name, or not necessarily? I have your apron. Why, thank you. This is from Etsy, but the Etsy store isn't there anymore because I bought it a couple years ago, so somebody will probably make it, but not the same place I got it from. Pink and mint, green and white. White icing looks like snow. Yeah, so, okay. Let's do... green along the roof. Like, let's do the roof in green, because that'll be kind of like it's a mossy roof. Or at least, it's not going to look that way, but it'll be that way in my head. We'll do a green roof. Pink windows. Because I'm not cutting out windows, I'm just going to like draw them on with icing. And then white edging. White will be both the construction icing and also I'm going to edge like the parts that would have snow on them with white icing. So I need to make some decorating icing and I need to mix it, or not mix it, I need to divide it into 3 so I can color it. Do I need pink windows? Is that going to add to my vision? Does that represent who I am as an artist? I don't know. Socializing with someone less than 4 legs and in person, are we sure this is the real Hazel? Oh, you guys aren't talking about the stream, we're talking about when I had somebody over. Yeah. It doesn't happen very often because that friend is as hard to get out of his house as I am to get out of my house. So we have to really, I can't push it too much. I can't invite him over too much because then he won't come. It's a golfing thing. A famous golfer always drank it on course. Oh, interesting. Just lemonade and iced tea? Needs to match the RGB in your computer. I have to go. Good luck with the decorating. I will watch the VoD. Merry Christmas to y'all. Merry Christmas, Nilsworth. So 7 minutes until that comes out. I'm gonna eat another reject stick with my food. This is nice and crunchy. I figure for the decorating icing, I'm just gonna mix icing sugar, vanilla, and like a little bit of milk until it's the right consistency. That's my whole plan. For construction icing, I'm gonna make royal icing, which includes egg whites and cream of tartar. So that stuff dries really stiff. It's going to take a minute to dry. I'm going to be holding it up for a while. But the decorating stuff doesn't need to be sound. It just needs to be on there, right? So, more flour in your pants from the apron. Yep. Sure. Okay. I can go over there. I don't need my templates anymore. Well, I still need these ones because I'm going to need to trim it. So I won't. I'll wash my ironing board, my rolling pin. But I'm going to keep the cutting board over here because I'll need that when that comes out. I'm not going to bother wiping up the counter. I need that still. I need that still. And oh, I never. My mixer bowl is still in my fridge with the rest of the dough in it. I could just use a hand mixer, actually. I'm just going to use a hand mixer in a bowl. I think that's going to be easier than trying to like transfer the stuff out and use a stand mixer. It's just icing. It's not going to be very hard to do with a stand mixer. So I don't have a recipe or anything. There might be one on here. Buttercream, basically. If it's too stiff, just beat in milk. Okay, so like a pound. I don't need a pound of this thing. I'm not going to use very much of it. I'm just going to take like 2 cups and then drip in milk until it's like the right consistency, basically. Should I beat this with a spoon instead of a beater? Should I definitely use a mixer? I don't know. Hazel bakes? Yeah, I don't know if I would say I bake. I try. You know, whether or not what happens looks good really depends. I feel like there's an expectation, and maybe this is just all in my head, but I feel like there's an expectation that as a person on the internet, if I'm gonna do something like bake, that I should be good at it, and it should look, you know, like Instagram ready. And maybe that's just in my head, but it's definitely not true, because heaven knows it never looks Instagram ready. Okay, so let's say what, 2 cups of icing, 1 cup of icing? I'm just icing decorating, so I'm not even doing flood icing, I'm just doing a line. So I'm just gonna start with 1 cup, and then we're just gonna drip in like a little bit of vanilla. Well, I need to divide it. We'll worry about that after we have icing. So I'll stick this over here for now. And then a tiny, tiny bit of vanilla. I'm not even going to use a cup, so I'm just going to go like a tiny drop. Just a little boop. Oh, that was a really tiny drop. I didn't even mean it. And boop, there we go. That's a better one. I will wipe that up later because I've made a mess. And then just like a little bit of milk. A little tiny bit of milk. So do I have like a spoon? Doesn't have to be a measuring spoon, just like a spoon. So that we can drip and stir. Drip and stir. So let's like take a measuring is for people that care more, I guess. I don't know. See what that turns into. Cook your boyfriend. Cook your boyfriend some soup. I think I've missed something. I feel bad coming to the kitchen to cook something as my boyfriend is asleep on the couch with a bad cold. Cook him some soup. Super boyfriend. Have him go to the corner. Mix the icing by hand is honestly easier. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling just the spoon, honestly. Like, it seems to be working. Well, honestly, it seems to be, well, no, it is working. I just need more milk, probably. Like, that was no milk. That was, like, a hint, you know? That was an intention of milk, but there was no milk actually in there. So let's just, like, do a little more. Because this one can be a little bit wet, as long as it dries, right? It doesn't need to be... It can be a little more. That's starting to... There's some icing on the bottom. Oh, no, I'm starting to make some goo now. I never really understood the appeal of the slime thing, probably because I'm 26, but I do enjoy... that's starting to get really... Need a little more. That's quite a bit. That should do it. Okay. I don't think any of us come here for perfection. I think that anybody that was coming here for perfection, like, left years ago. So that's, I think, the beautiful thing about internet content is as long as you are doing something that is true to yourself and you're honest about it, you'll end up, hopefully, with an audience that appreciates that, because anybody that doesn't appreciate that won't stick around, because that's not what they want to see, and that's perfectly fine. There's so much internet that there's going to be somebody that does something that you can connect with, and that's nice. All right, speaking of that's nice, that's nice. So, that's going to get a little thicker as I got the rest of the scrapings in there. So I was thinking of dividing that. I don't know how I'm going to divide it, really. I guess I could just take another bowl, like a little one. I don't want to pipe anything. Oh, I'm going to have to pipe. Oh, I hate piping. You lose, like, all of your icing on the bag, and then you have to, like, clean the bag or throw the bag out, and you've got to, like, find your tips, and I don't know where they are. They're in a cupboard somewhere, and... Oh, I'm going to have to do it, though. There's no way for me to just spoon drizzle this on that makes it look like I want it to. Oh, man. Why does the chat turn to cannibalism? Does your cat not go on your counters? No, she does not jump up on the counter. She actually almost never comes into the kitchen. She will very rarely, if I'm in here talking, like on streams, and I haven't seen her yet, she's probably asleep somewhere, but she'll very rarely, like, walk in and see what you're doing, but she doesn't jump up on the counter. Actually, no, I see her. She's sniffing around my printer, which is probably fine. Gosh darn it. All right. Fine. There isn't very much of this, so maybe what I'll do is I'll put that into a Ziploc bag. Should I try and put a tip on the Ziploc bag? Let me see what my tips look like. Well, so is that done? That looks done. Ooh. That is some good gingerbread. It's a little wonky, but that's all right. And then those cookies look about right, too. So that can all just sort of stay somewhere. I don't know. There. Why not? Okay. I need to trim the gingerbread while it's warm still, actually. So let's move this somewhere. And then put the milk away for now. We can get it back out later. I come to the baking streams to get the childhood I never had. You are always, always welcome. Although I feel like, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if you didn't have the childhood, but in the childhood, your mom lets you eat the scraps or like lick the spoon or something. And that is not what's going on over here. Okay, so this, move it over here. We're just trimming the roof and the sides down, and we can try and emphasize the scalloping because it looks like most of it's been lost. So I'm gonna try to, I should be trying to move it in a way that's more flat because it's kind of fracturing. Oh no! Oh dear. Well, nothing so icing can't repair. Lost a little bit of a corner there. Here, just, whew, hot, okay, whatever. What do I need? I need my knife and my template. So the sides are easy enough. I can just take those off right there and make that a little bit more square. Wow, the edges look really bad. But I'm thinking that all the edges are going to be either, they're going to be like capped with icing, because they're going to be like connected, right, with other edges. So, and then the front ones and stuff, I will probably just add like an icing layer that's going to be like snow, so that the crumminess of this cut gingerbread will hopefully not be too apparent in our final finished product. So those are some sides. And then the roof needs to be like this, but with a scalloped edge. So I'm going to try and like line it up at the bottom edge actually and just trim off. Well, actually the roof I think is allowed to be like this, because the roof can extend down as far as it wants, and it can also extend forward and back as far as it wants. I think it's already supposed to overhang. So I don't think I'm going to trim the roof's sides. I think I'm just going to try and like emphasize the scallop that we have going on here. And, well, you know, the scallop that I intended to have going on here. Whether or not it actually happened is open to interpretation. Okay. Whew, that's pretty bad. Oh, I'm just making a mess of it. I'm just gonna leave that alone. We're just gonna move on and pretend that's not happening. Sandwich bag, cut a hole in the corner. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Is like a sandwich bag, cut a hole in the corner, stick a piping tip down there, because usually when I cut a hole in the corner, it's like a really tiny hole, or not a tiny hole, a big hole. And I think I might need it to be more delicate than that. So I'm seeing, I know I've like, over the years, gotten different things for decorating, and like decorating kits that always included tips, but I thought I put them in this cupboard. I don't see them. There's probably like a big bag of them somewhere. I actually see my big thing of disposable piping bags that I'm still not going to mess with, because for whatever reason I don't want to use them. Oh, here's a metal tip, although it's like really big. We're probably just going to plastic bag it. We're probably just going to Ziploc it with no tip. I feel like that's the life that I'm about to live. Are they in here? What is in here? I have like a little robot. Hello. Yeah. Oh, the role of icing is to hide mistakes. Agree. I made mistakes. Happy accidents. The roof is on fire. Is it up to code? Whew, we're gonna find out when it's building time. See, the prettiest pink-haired gnome cook in all of the realms. Welcome. No tips needed. Yeah, well, I guess that's the life we're gonna live. So I'm just gonna scooch this over. These are actually cool enough to put decoration frosting on. I don't know if they're stable yet, but they are cool enough. So I need to transfer this, actually. I need another thing. So the first test is going to be, can I pick it up? I can pick it up. Haha! Look at that! I made that! Go me! Oh, it's crumbly. Okay. Set that down over there. I'm making a massive mess out of my kitchen, which is fine by me, because I can clean it up. And then we're going to move this one onto the cooling rack. Well, maybe I can scoop them. So that's a roof. And this is the roof that's the problem, because it's got the fracture, and these are still a little warm, so it's a little dangerous to be moving them like this. And then I can actually put my front back on the board here, because we're going to ice that first. And then take this side, and that can cool over here. And this can cool. Where can this cool? Here. Ooh, also fracturing. Well, just stay put. Don't fall apart yet. It's not your time. Good gingerbread though. Or at least I think it's good. I don't know what a professional would think. Okay. So I think I can throw out this parchment now. I think that we're done with this, and I'm also done with my template. And that'll save some room. And now I need to get my bowl of icing back. I may give up on coloring. Oh, it's starting to seize up a little bit. I may just do this with white frosting. Like, I'm gonna break it down anyways, I don't know. We'll do all the white frosting bits, and then we'll make one more bowl of it, and we'll color it green. We'll do green frosting bits. So here, I'm just gonna kind of follow my heart, actually, and we'll see how that goes. So we're using the white on the roof and the sides. We're gonna make a window on each side, and we're gonna do some stuff on the roof. And some of it may just be squiggly, and that's okay. Is it structurally sound? Don't you need a base? I didn't think of that. I'm gonna build it on this thing when I get to building, but we're not building yet. We're just gonna kind of lay on the decorations on the flat pieces while they're flat so we can work on them without having to like work up. And then once those are dry and everything is like super cool, then we'll make the royal icing and like try to build it. She can read chat without looking. Oh no. Oh no, definitely not. Okay, Ziploc. Hidden underneath the thing that every adult has, which is an unusually large collection. I only have quart bags, oh well. Of plastic bags, okay. So I'm gonna just try and spoon this in as best as I can. And I'm gonna make a terrible mess. And that's okay, we can just kind of like squeeze it around the bag. So this will be all the white icing because after this I'm going to mix more and dye it green for the roof. And we're gonna do like I'd say a mossy green roof, but I'm probably just gonna do like a green shingle pattern on the roof. And we're just gonna have to know in our hearts that that is intended to be moss. Okay, so there's some icing in there. Wow, that looks awful. Does it taste good? Yeah, it tastes like sugar. Okay. So we need a pretty small tip, but not like the smallest thing ever because nobody has patience for that. So I'm just gonna nick off a little bit of it. We can always do more. And I think the first thing I wanna do is get it away from the top because I'm gonna be squeezing this and I don't need it to all come back out the other end. So get it away from the top, kind of towards our squeezing end. I probably should have tied off this other corner so that it doesn't come in. Maybe I have an elastic. I think I have like a little elastic I can do. Oh, I don't want to get icing over everything. Everything's gonna be sticky in here forever. Why do I have candy in that drawer? It's like a little thing of nerds. Nobody tell Asha. Do you ever miss the purple hair or do you prefer pink hair? I do miss the purple hair sometimes. I miss it when it was like a light purple. The dark purple I think was too dark, but I miss the light purple. But this pink is actually pretty good. My roots are growing in something fierce, and I'm just kind of waiting until I really can't stand them anymore, like if they get halfway down my bangs, and then I will either do it again or get it done again. I did say that I would, hang on, I need to move this so you guys can see it, that I would, I don't know where to put this, right here, get it done professionally next time. And it's not even a money problem. It's like finding an appointment, and then like I have to either Uber there or have my husband drive me, which means it has to be in his schedule too, because I don't drive. And then it's gonna like take a really long time, and I'm gonna have to talk to people. I'm like, oh no, it's happening. Okay, so I'm gonna like do this because I figured the hole would have icing on the bottom of it, because you know, snow happened. This is really wet icing, so RIP. There's probably some snow that's like piled up on this side of it, on the bottom. And then it's kind of just happening. This is way too wet. So we're just gonna kind of make sure that there's some icing on everything. I also don't really know where I'm going to put the candy, right? Because I'm going to have to put candy on it. I'm probably going to do that with royal icing to make sure it sticks. This is just supposed to be for decoration, which is clearly going great. I'm drawing like a flower pattern around the center. That looked good. Sure, yep, okay. I feel like we need a little smiley face up here. Yep, that's happy. And then, you know, we can disguise this with some more of a mistake. That really oozed right through onto the board. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's kind of what we did. So we did like a little bottom thing. I liked the dark purple. If you get it done, will you make a video? I mean, I made a video the first time. Making a video at a salon means I have to like talk to the salon about filming and then like talk to the people about it and then like do it, and then I have to have somebody else do it because I can't do it because I'm like getting my hair done, and that sounds like a lot of requirements. I do almost all of my stuff completely by myself, so involving 2 people at once, yikes. I also like the dark purple. Or just make off-color icing jokes. Yeah, I know. I just know that I also see it, and we're just all gonna keep it to ourselves. So that's kind of the front. It's cute enough, I guess. And I'm gonna put this over here, and this is the roof. I'm not really feeling coloring the icing anymore. I don't know. I mixed it too thick. Or too thin. There's too much milk in that. And you can just add more confectioner sugar, but like... I'm gonna put this over... Well, nothing warm. Put it over here. And then let's put something on the back here, because even if it's not pretty, it still needs to be yummy, and that means we need to have a good ratio of icing. And I have sugar in my hands, and I hate that. I am not about this feeling. What if it comes at the bottom? What does this do? Bloop? Oh, it makes some bloops. This is a new thing that we're trying. It's avant-garde. It's really about the moment. I don't like it. I don't like this moment. I've kind of made a face. I don't know, man. I was kind of anticipating this would happen. I didn't anticipate that my icing would be this thick. I was kind of thinking, or thin. I probably could have done that better, but like, I hate decorating. I hate it. I want to just like get sugar on there so that it can be eatable. And this, trying to make something pretty is like my least favorite thing, because like, what's even the point? And I know it's like, I get the point. It's so pretty when other people do it. And if I practiced and I really tried, I bet I could do something that I would like. But I don't like this, and now I'm mad at it, so I just want to like cover it in icing and then destroy it so I can eat it as revenge, you know? You know what this needs? To have candy on it, randomly sticking out from the back. I wonder if it'll say. It'll probably just fall off. Get permission from the stylist, record on your phone, and do a time lapse? Maybe. Record on my phone, like what, with a selfie camera? What kind of angle is that? I am a big fan of time lapses, though. They are my favorite thing because you don't really have to do commentary. We have enough icing left to stick it all together. I'm making a different type of icing to stick it all together. This icing is just for what was supposed to be decorating and was now become something different. It doesn't look bad with candy on it, though. It's kind of, you know, it's whimsical. It's what a delightful child might make, because they don't care about your Pinterest. Yep. Either that or it's like grown warts. It's grown chocolate warts. We also have these dark chocolate kisses. So that's fun. Let's throw some of those on there. Oh, man. Hazel, you inspired me to fully dye my hair. I had it pink for a while, but it's dark blue. Thank goodness for my boss who allows colored hair. That's awesome. I feel like the employer is really the big sticking point. So if you're past that, then you're in the clear. You know what I want to do next with my hair, actually? I think is, so purple again, because I miss purple, but like, I want it to be like an ashy purple, like a gray purple kind of. I want it to be very smoky, and I think that's why I need help, is because if I try and mix that myself, I'm just going to make it like dirt. I'm going to give myself dirt hair. Although I guess I had brown hair to begin with, so what's the worst thing that can happen? Alright. Yep. I think we need one more dark chocolate one, and then the back will be done. Hello, Hazel. Hello. Chocolate warts. Fighting the urge to mention the icing. It's, whew, there we go. Isn't that nice? It's, you know, I like to think that I'm inspirational, because I'm always inspired when I see somebody doing something and I'm like, I bet I could do better. Right? So, that's the theme today. Now, I'm throwing this whole bag out because I hate it, and I'm washing my hands because I hate them too. Oh, that feels good to have the sugar off them. Okay. We need to regroup and figure out our next plan. Oh, I didn't put any candy on the front. So in addition to, I have sprinkles. Oh, I need to do sprinkles in the front. Is it still dry? Is it still wet? I bet I can push some sprinkles in there. So here's the front. And I know there's like icing on there, and that's fine, whatever. I need sprinkles. So we're really gonna follow our hearts here. I'm gonna use probably green sprinkles, because we're still going for like a green theme. Rage icing. Milk chocolate is the best chocolate. I actually agree, but the swirly ones are like cream with milk chocolate, so the darker ones might balance that out. Because the whole thing is going to be really very sweet with all the icing and whatnot. Walmart has a box dye called Smoky Lavender. I think like L'Oreal made a version of that, but I also want to do it without bleaching my hair too much, and that might be a lost cause. I might just have to let somebody that's professional bleach it as much as they think is necessary, and then hope that it doesn't sustain long-lasting damage. That's also kind of my fear. Is I'm one of those people that probably should trust professionals more, but I've been doing my own stuff so long myself that like I would have a hard time trusting. Like, they're going to start doing stuff to my hair, and I'm going to be like, oh no, is that necessary? Even though they know what they're doing, I'm going to need to trust them. Alright, this isn't working. I put sprinkles on here, but they're just going to fall off. I need to push them into the icing. There we go. Tap it in. Tap, tap, tap. Oh gosh. I'm picking up individual sprinkles. This is not how I wanted my day to go. Maybe they'll stick to my finger. Yeah, tap, tap. I don't really know what this is supposed to be. I guess it could be algae. No, not algae. Algae's underwater. Lichen. Yes. These are lichen sprinkles. These represent the abandonedness of a birdhouse once made by a youthful child and then forgotten about after that child went off to school. You ever start a project and you get halfway through and you're like, wow, I would love to be done with this right about now, but I'm not done yet. I'm probably gonna sort of try and speed through the rest of the decorating here. Actually, you know what I have? I have a bag of cookie icing. I'm gonna use this for the roof because this is pre-mixed and it's the right consistency. So I'm gonna scallop with this, and it's also got like a tip. Okay, Krista, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that. I'll tell my cat. All chocolate is chocolate. Hope you have gumdrops. Those pointy kisses. It now looks like a shield. It does kind of look like a shield. You could probably do some good defending with that. Okay, so this is, quite frankly, a disaster, but that's okay. That's fine. So we've got our lichen snow front, which I'll put back over here. Those are the sides. I don't really have any more white icing that I want to pipe. I guess I'll just like, maybe the sides don't need to be piped. Maybe, well, we'll see. I don't know. Figure it out. Maybe I'll just drizzle it on with a spoon. That was my original plan anyways. So this is like barely holding together. It's got like that fracture mark that you can see very clearly there. I kind of mushed it together while it was still warm, so I'm probably going to end up doing some emergency surgery on that once we get the royal icing out. How do I get this thing off? Oh, no. Does it come off? It does. Hang on. I'll clean it. Ah! Oh, that was dangerous. That could have flown down my throat. I caught it though. Okay, so we're going to clean that. Although I think it's really just for me and my husband, but still. And slice off the tip, and the roof is going to go kind of that way. So we're going to go like this, and we're just going to, yeah, there we go. That's the stuff. That's the dream. And then just more, I guess. I want them to be kind of offset, but also not necessarily touching. So, do this, and we can add some sprinkles to it, I guess? I don't know. I'll probably just like finish the house, and then with whatever royal icing I have left over, just like stick more candy on it. But for now, I think that looks all right. My hair is blonde and pink. That does sound nice. New project is a gingerbread palette, almost done. Wait, new project. Oh, this. Aveda's bleach is not as strong, less damage. Use Olaplex. I've been using Olaplex, like the take-home stuff that you can buy. Whenever I wash my hair, I put the leave-in conditioner in first, and I leave that in for like an hour, which is really uncomfortable, but I do that, and then I wash it and wash my hair. But, it would be nice if I could find a place that did that. How do you know? Like, do they put this info online, or do you just have to, like, know somebody? I guess you could call and ask. That's probably like the responsible adult thing to do, is just to like use your words and ask somebody how they do it. Okay. Alright, close enough. That's done. Alright, so the roof is done. The front and the back are done. The sides, I can give windows too. Oh yeah, we're just going to like do drizzle windows on the sides. They're going to look awful, and that's okay. So I'm going to take these two, which are just like nice little squares. And we're pretty close to actually being able to mix up the construction icing and start putting it all together, which is exciting. So that roof can go over there. It's a little flaky, but that's alright. This roof can go over here. And then these are like our little sides. I don't even know which way they go. Probably like long ways, or do they go short ways? Probably long ways. Does it matter? Yeah, they go long ways. Okay. So if it goes like this, and then like that, I have gluey icing and a spoon. You'd think if it was so gluey, it would be stiffer to pipe. So I'm gonna like try to spoon on a window, which is a terrible idea, but what do you do? Sometimes we don't want a pipe anymore. I guess it doesn't have to be a window, it just needs to be a square. And then I'm gonna line the bottom of that with some sprinkles, because it'll be like, you know, flowers. Except they're not flowers, they're just sprinkles, but you know, what is baking for if not to use our imaginations? Yes. This'll do. Oh man. I want to get it up. I would like to see my finished product, and I'm getting a little impatient. Okay, so what kind of, just more green, I guess. We'll get some more green. At least we're putting it on while it's wet this time, so it can actually adhere. So the green is on the bottom part, like it's flowers, like a little flower box or something, I don't know. And then, that's fine, whatever. I guess kisses are kind of like flowers. Let me get a couple of these things. 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like this is really a family project. Like, you could probably do it yourself just fine, but this would be more fun if you have people to both help and also, like, continue to be excited in it. Mighty Blue, thanks for the super chat. $25. Go get yourself that Vulpine Familiar mount and have a Merry Christmas. Thank you. I will get it. I will. I appreciate the wish. Is this 8.1 activities? Does the title say that? It should say a gingerbread house. I've been hearing that the stream has been having issues with like telling whether or not this is a Friday stream or not. So hopefully it updates. And if not, it'll be a, you know, put the right title on and post, and it won't be a problem anymore. We have gingerbread cookies for Wintervale. The YouTube bug, yeah. I don't really, it all looks completely normal on my end, so I don't know what else to do. Make sure you use the right bleach powder, not bleach powder for dark hair. It'll turn green if it's already blonde to begin with. Well, the problem is, and the reason why I'm helping probably leave this professional, is that my roots are very dark. I have quite naturally dark hair, so my roots are going to need probably different treatment than the rest of me. Okay, so these are the sides. That's kind of what we're looking at. Imagine that's a flower box in a window. You know, just believe. And then I need to mix up some royal icing. So I need a clean bowl. So I should clean this bowl, because we need to like whip up egg whites. I'm going to move this because it's right by the sink right now, and that's no good. Okay, getting there. Patch 8.1 content, it's the new heritage hosting. I saw both stream notices, but for 2 different videos. I don't know what's up with that. I hope that doesn't continue to happen, because I can see that being really annoying. Especially for content like this. Like, if somebody's showing up wanting a WoW stream, they're going to be deeply disappointed. Big Anderson windows. Anderson windows. What's an Anderson window? I've never heard of that. Gingerbread off of my rolling pin. I might need to heat up another cup of tea. So the plan for the royal icing looks like we just need to beat the egg whites, add the cream of tartar, and then add icing sugar, basically. You can throw vanilla in it if you want, and I probably will, because I do have some now. it's kind of like a really sugary meringue, and it like dries really stiff. So it will have to dry, like it doesn't dry as quickly as some other types of icing. And it's going to need to be really dry to stick the whole thing together, and we're going to have to do one side at a time. Well, maybe I can do two sides at a time. We'll see. I'll try and judge how ambitious my hands are for holding it all together. Thank you for entertaining me during my lunch break. Back to work. I wish you a great day at work. Housing on the PTR for 8-2. Am I making the Wintervale Garrison? Kind of. If it was for a bird, anyways. Let's see. Alright, so this needs to be dry because if you're whipping up egg whites, they don't whip up properly if your bowl has like anything else on it. So like it shouldn't be wet, it should not be dirty, it shouldn't even really be dusty. You want it to be like really clean. Let's really mean it. That's pretty dry. The outside of it's a little wet, that's okay. And I have not much space going on over here. So, where am I going to do my assembly? Probably like here. I'll probably move this over. And I can sit here because that's not really warm anymore. It's also still on the board. This is our assembly board, so that's where we're going to put it eventually. And for now, our icing goes in here. So we need 2 egg whites and 3.5 cups of icing sugar. I'm not going to sift the icing sugar. And I am only going to use 2 egg whites because I think that's all I need. So I have eggs, and I'm gonna, you also don't want any yolk at all in it. So I'm going to try and be careful to not break them. Although usually when I'm careful, that's when the worst problems happen. So that one's okay. We only want white. Okay, I have an intact yolk. And I have a garbage can, but it's like several steps away from me. I guess I'll just throw these in the sink for now. I will fetch them. And then I need one more. So I'm just going to crack it in the same hand, actually. I can hold 2 yolks in one hand. Just don't fracture, don't fracture, don't fracture. Yes, good. Please play nice. Oh, no. Oh, we're good. Still, we're good. Okay. 2 egg yolks. Or egg whites. If I had thought ahead, I would have tried to prepare something that needed 2 egg yolks, but I didn't, so that's just a shame. Make sure that we have all of it, because these are pretty small eggs. I'm just going to beat that with a hand mixer. I'm not going to worry about the stand mixer. I love to bake, but the cleanup is very demotivating. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing that you want help for, but I don't usually mind cleaning too much, especially after something like this, because it's like 11, so I'm probably gonna, finish in, well, I don't know exactly when I'm gonna finish, but whenever I do, I'll probably just like sit for a minute with a tea, and then I get up and I put on some music, and that's the real secret to me, to getting anything done that's like a mindless activity, like cleaning or like cooking something you've made 1,000 times, is you just have to have music. And you turn it up, and then you can get anything done that you want to. Also applies to exercise. So we're just going to beat this until it is frothy, and then add some cream of tartar, which I have in, is this it? Nope, that's cayenne pepper, that won't do. It's one of those ones that I don't use often enough to put on the shelf. That is marjoram. What on earth did I ever use marjoram for? Cloves? Where are we at? Where did it go? Where did I put it? Cream of tartar. I know I have it. I actually think I have 2 of them because I thought I had lost it and then I found it, but not until after I replaced it. There it is. Okay. Okay. Cream of tartar. Try not to get caught on that, and then we're gonna need like 1.5 or just a half teaspoon of that, so not very much. Do I have my spoons? I do have my spoons. Dave Jordan, thanks for the super chat. Merry Christmas, Hazel. Merry Christmas to you too. Great stream to chill out too after a long day at work. A very wet UK. We are sharing, actually, I think I see sun at the window, which doesn't make any sense because we've got like flood warnings. And it was pouring this morning, but I guess it's taking a break. Okay, so we gotta whip this up first. So I'm just gonna hand mixer this because I still don't want to clean the bowl that has the extra cookie dough in it. I don't even know when or if I'm gonna make that. Hang on, there's a little piece of shell. Like a teeny tiny bit. Yeah, get out of there. Get. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Whew. I keep thinking that there's sprinkles in it, but there's just sprinkles on the bottom of the bowl. This one. So those are foamy. And then we add, gradually, half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. And that helps make it like really stiff and stable. I probably shouldn't be trying to do both things at once. We used to get more double yolked eggs back when we had chickens. I haven't seen too many of them since. So that's pretty, it's not quite stiff yet actually. Okay, and then we need to add 3.5 cups of icing sugar and get that all mixed together. So I've been thinking through my battle plan for how I want to put this together, and I'm thinking I'm gonna take one of the two of the sides. And sorry, this is 2 cups. I'm not even leveling this off, so we'll do 3 cups, and then we'll do a small half cup because I've definitely gone pretty big on these 3 cups. This is gonna be a big batch of icing. So 3 cups, and then oh, there was flour in that. Oops, forgot. Whoops, daisies. There's some flour on my everything. And then there's one more half cup. Okay, we'll just get that all mixed in. And I'm gonna be careful. I am gonna have to pipe this, so I'm gonna have to put it in a big bag. I'm gonna try and like mix it while it's off for a second to just get it all like a little bit more incorporated so that we've got a little bit less of like a floofy situation going on. There's sugar everywhere! Oh no! I should have used the stand mixer. I've made mistakes. I can't control it. Oh gosh, we just gotta get in the middle of this lump. Maybe I should just use a spoon. Oh no, I have a knife. Maybe I can stab it to death. If you would just... Oh my gosh, it's really thick, which I guess is the dream. You want it to be thick and stable. It's just gonna be a bit of a nightmare to pipe. I could try to add like a little more moisture to it. But I don't want it to be too wet again. I really don't want it to be too wet again, so I'll add like the tiniest bit of milk. Actually, maybe just like a little, well, just the tiniest bit, just like a whisper. There we go. And we'll get that mixed in, and then we'll get that piped, and we're gonna try and assemble this thing. So here is my big bag, and then mix that up with my knife, because that's the correct tool. Firefighter Boy, thanks for the super chat. Hazel, I'm in a store, it's dry at the moment, so it could be headed your way. Very well might be. Okay, I have made a monster. I'm just gonna have to put that in a bag and start to do it now because that's not getting better. That's only gonna get worse. It kind of looks like a brain if it was covered in dust. A really dusty brain. Okay, put the monstrosity in the bag. Put this bowl over here. And then cut a pretty big tip because this is for construction, so we're going pretty big on this. Cut a pretty big tip. Okay, so I need the front and the sides. Oh boy. Okay, so this is the front. It's beautiful, I know. Hold your applause, and then the sides are over here. So I'll lay the front down for now, and we're gonna get a big line on the leading edges of both sides, and then we're going to just hold them onto the front and then hold them until it seems like they want to stick. Should I try and fix it with icing to the bottom? I'm going to do the leading edges thing first anyways. So, oh my gosh, this is so thick. It's like a paste. I'm just going to work it with my fingers. I'm going to roll it into a rope, and then I'm going to press it on because that's how thick this is. Will it even adhere if it's ropey? On a good layer of that, and then we'll make a rope. I've overcompensated with my icing. Okay. Yep, good. Well, I shouldn't say good. I don't know yet. This is going to be the back side. I don't know if you're just supposed to put your icing. Okay. I should have done the bottom, oh well. So we're going to try and attach that. And I've done the wrong sides actually, so I need to make another rope for this other side, and then I need to put it back on right away because I've roped the wrong side. So this side needs some, it's really like a paste. What have I done? Okay. Although, you know, I kind of let go of that side and it's still up, so what does that tell you? What does that say? Oh, well, it'll peel off of that. It's like non-stick putty. You know, people build things with putty. Putty is important. We can make putty. Maybe instead of keeping that on that side, I'll try to I'm not going to try and glue directly on the bottom, but what I am going to do is I'm going to oh! Well, I can't say nobody saw that coming. I'm gonna stop talking and work. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, okay, one side at a time, one side at a time. You were doing so well. You were doing so well. Just believe in yourself. I'm going to give you a little snow layer of support. We're gonna have some support putty. We need more emergency putty. I guess I can use this side since I'm not sticking that piece on yet. I can't let go of it. I cannot let go of it. Okay. I bet I can shore it up. I bet I can support it from the inside with a layer that you can't see. All right. And then I'm going to wrap that around. I'm just basically making like a wall of snow on the floor. Oh gosh, I can't even get my paste out. My tubes are jammed. And then press that in, and we're just gonna hold it for a while because that's too dry to actually adhere, unfortunately. Are we having fun? We're pulling for you. Come on, house. We tried to make a gingerbread house and it looked like it blew up in the morning. Yeah, this one is not going to be allowed to live until morning for sure. So you can kind of see what I've done. Well, I don't want to move it too much, but you can kind of see what I've done there. I've just made like a, oh, what's on the ground? Oh, it's candy, okay. Let me get that because it's chocolate and I don't want the animals getting it. Okay, let's try to, oh gosh, maybe if I warm it up. Hang on, I don't want to hold it, but I also don't want to not hold it. Okay, let's make some new paste ropes. Okay, this should be a lot. And we're gonna kind of try to well, I don't want to push on it. Definitely don't want to be pushing I'll repair the window later. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's definitely stiffening up in the bag, so I have confidence that we will eventually make it to a place of stability and sturdiness. All right, 2 walls are up, and now I just need to be very careful, and I need to make the paste supports and also, you know, angle it a little better. Who builds without a level? I'm eating this corner. Ah. Pray. I don't think this is how you're supposed to royal icing. I'm pretty sure this is the exact opposite. It looks nice though, actually. Like the little ropes, little rolled ropes, they do look nice. Okay, and then I'll make the inner layer. And I'll probably do an outer layer in the front too. Because instead of having icing underneath it, it's just gonna kind of have like supporting paste on either side. So if we make this little rope, we can sort of shore it up along there. We can potentially even add some stability chocolate. Oh gosh, you gotta really mean this. There's like a lot of icing in here, but it's like really stiff. I see that corner that you're looking at, and I would like to make that prettier. Okay. So, yep, some right there, and then pat that along there. Yeah, good, looks nice. We can go up the sides later. I'm gonna try and put the back, well, before I put the backside on, I'm gonna make sure I've reinforced the insides, because, well, I won't spin it. I'm not gonna risk spinning it yet. I think this is gonna be really stable once it dries. I think that once we have it, why am I even trying to squeeze it at the end? I can just grab bits of it off of this lump because I've just made a giant thing of glue. And glue it shall. So we're gonna put this here and do something that you can't see, which is all right. You can just, I'm basically just lining the inside the way that I lined the outside so that it's got like a little thing to lean against if it needs to. The thing I'm concerned about mostly is getting the roof on, getting it to stay on. Just so malleable. Okay. And then we can put the butt on. Where'd the butt go? Where'd the house butt go? Did I forget to make a house butt? Oh no, here it is. Oh, that's right, it's a big one. That's right, so I'm gonna need 2 big ropes. A putty. Working surprisingly well. And we're going to apply those to the rear end of the house. And then we'll just gently press it on. We've got a little bit of a lean, which I'm going to try to correct. This is a very short house, actually. Should have seen that coming. Okay, pressing it together. Wow. All right, one wall is significantly wider than the other wall, so it's sort of pinched on one side, but it is up, you know, it's up. That's good. So I'll do the same thing on the back that I did in the front, and then I'll show you where we're at, because your angle sucks. No, that's not how that works. What am I doing? There you go. Well, no, not quite. It's not stiff enough. There you go. That's the view. That's the look. Oh no. YouTube, please don't flag me. I didn't mean it. It's just a gingerbread house. This looks like it's going well. Stability chocolates. Another cowboy builder. We're rooting for you. It's like nailed it, but with Hazel. Yeah, I think that's a fair representation. You know, I'm not actually too mad at this, mostly because it's up. And I didn't think it would be up. Like, the actual gingerbread turned out very stable. It's not bending, it's not sagging, it's not bowing. There's flour all over the back of this thing because I spilled flour on it. I'm gonna try and glue on a chocolate to replace that window one. So let's just take a little dab and a new chocolate that hasn't been on the floor. Watching from my kitchen monitor while I scoop kumquats to fill with chocolate for a staff party tonight. That sounds like, it doesn't, I mean, scooping kumquats doesn't sound fun, but eating them does. All right, well, I'll be on. we'll probably just like throw candy on the front of it. Let's actually do, well, no, we gotta get the roof on. We gotta get the roof on, that's the real moment of truth. So I'm gonna paste our borders, so like here and here, kind of. And, well, I'll do the side that's farthest from me first, actually. So I'm making my putty rope and I'm applying it. And I'm gonna try and like bend it over both the front and the back edges here to help it adhere better. The problem with this is it's actually surprisingly not that sticky. It's kind of got the consistency of Play-Doh, which is interesting. You'd think it would be really sticky. It'll hopefully dry up nice and firm. And then I don't think it actually really sits. I think because it's going to overhang, I don't think that the roof sits on that top edge, because I don't think I need to do anything like that. So I just need to like put this here. And this is the part that we're going to need to kind of like hold, but brace it. So I'm going to put a finger and some pressure. Oh, not too much pressure because it'll bow in the middle. Pressure on the edges. I'm going to kind of squish the icing job a little bit. That's all right. So you just need to, oh, it's kind of sagging. Also, it's got a gap. Like, I can put my fingers up here, and then inside the house, it's got a gap there. All the squirrels are going to get in. You know. Well, as long as that's on, I'm just going to call it good, and I'm going to put the other side on and then pray, essentially. Oh, we can use this putty to kind of stand up. Also, I put this thing very far forward. We're going to use the putty to sort of stand up some of our designs. I don't know if I'm going to ice them, guys. Like, I'll put icing on them and I'll put candy on them. But, like, actually making them look like a raptor and a Pepe and all that, like, that's too many projects for one baking stream, I feel like. I feel like if you want me to make raptor cookies, then we should just vote for make raptor cookies. And then I'll make, like, one raptor cookie on a whole baking stream, and then I'll be done, and that's reasonable. The dinosaur is going to fit through the tiny hole. I don't think anything is fitting through that hole. Okay, this is going to go on here. And then, yeah, it's not sticky at all. Why isn't it sticky? This. And then carefully and gently press to adhere. And I mean, it's super cute. I mean, I think it's cute. It's kind of hideous, but that was expected. And then I'm actually going to put a line right at the top between the seam. So that it's got like a line up here. I love that this piping bag is just turned into like a platform. Also, I'm kind of running out, which is fine because I'm almost done. It's up though, like who expected that? Did anybody see that coming? Okay. Oh no. Oh, it's falling in. My putty. Oh no. Oh no. It's not wide enough. I need more. The back part's kind of sticky. Okay. Space for squirrels to visit the druid. The guys doing construction are inspired. This is more nerve-wracking. A little bit. Yeah, this looks like bad. Oh, you know why? It's because it's missing a corner. It actually is sat not too bad, but it's missing a corner, so it looks like it's really lopsided. So that can just sort of sit there. Oh, you know what I should do is I should flatten it. And that way it'll fit. So I'm gonna just sort of squish it flat. And that way it'll be like a ribbon. Oh no, I broke it. Oh no. Oh dear. There's gonna be random bits of icing in the middle. All right, let's just stick some candy on and call it a day. I want a big Hershey's Kiss like right up, not sponsored, right up here. So we're gonna put some taffy there and another kiss on it. It's not a bad size actually. And then press that. There we go. That's good. What else? Maybe like here and there. My hands are covered in sugar and I hate. Oh no, you know what? We need to save this icing because we're gonna make some stands for our blob cookies. They need to adorn their home, where the duck, the Pepe, and the raptor. Well, you'll see. You'll see how that went. So that's a stand. And here is Pepe. This is Pepe. Yes. He kind of covers up some of the injustices that have been done to his design. He's not even decorated. How do I even... Alright, so I got extra cookie icing. We're going to give him a wing. We're going to give him a wing. We're going to give him 2 big eyes. And that'll help. So give me some of these. And we're going to go blop. And then we're going to go blop. And he also had like a tummy circle, didn't he? So let's give him a little tummy circle. There we go. Pepe, ladies and gentlemen. He's kind of got sunglasses on. So this is how the raptor turned out. And then this is the duck. The duck actually surprisingly looks the most like a bird. I might be able to do something with that. So like this is a wing. And then this is an eye. And man. It's so cute. I want to try and make... Oh no! Oh no! I should have seen that coming. Buddy. We need to save this icing for evidence. A row of kisses on the top. Oh, that is a cute idea. Alright, well, that's a lost cause. That's never getting better. I think Pepe is having us. Oh no. The bird's not doing much better. This is how our bird turned out. So he's looking away from Pepe because he's afraid. I don't know if I can get a row of kisses on the top. This stuff is like not even secure. I don't think this is meant to be moved. I like how I'm covering up like the entire front of the house with cookies, but that's okay because it was not anything to look at anyways. Kisses, kisses, kisses. I mostly just like the marbled ones, so that's kind of what I'm using. I do think that the roof turned out kind of cute. Like, you can see that it's got like the floopy floops, you know, that's all right. And then you've got like a window over there. That's Squidward. This house is so cute. I feel like, you know, it's not pretty, but it's very me, right? Like, this is the best I could do, and it reflects that. And that's all right. What if I made, I'm thinking of like melting the bottom of these to make them stick better, but it doesn't matter if they stick because they're just sitting there and they'll never fall off because this is going to meet an untimely end at some point. One more. I laughed because of the eyes. Oh, he's completely lost one, hasn't he? It's down by his foot. Pepe has been corrupted by the leech. Pepe is just going to live his life as he is now. Sometimes that's okay. It's cute. You guys lie to me. Pepe's been blighted. He has been kind of blighted, you know, it's on topic. All right, let me wash my hands. And I guess the dinosaur needs to be somewhere. I don't know. Here. Yeah, no, we're past trying to fix this. This is in the best as it's ever gonna be. So let me switch cameras and then see if I can show you. All right. Do. Presenting the official 2018. Gosh, are we gonna do this every year? Oh no. Official 2018 Hazelnutty Gingerbread House. Featuring the remains of Pepe. That's supposed to be a bird. Yeah, there's a window. no. Here's the back of it. It's got a bit of a warty back. It's very off balance. Also, I spilled flour on the back. It's very off balance, this thing, so you gotta be careful how you hold it. And I'm gonna put it down now because this is as stable as it's ever gonna. You know what? It hasn't fallen apart yet. Like, we had a couple slips when we were first assembling it, but that ain't bad. Oh, it's ready to just knock it right over. Get my stream clip moment. That ain't bad. All right. Do I get to kill it yet? So cute. You made pirate Pepe. I'm going to live in it. Are you going to eat it? Oh man. So should I? Okay, so I need you guys to tell me. Do I leave it like that, at least until the end of the day, so that my husband can see it when I get home? Or do I just like take some pictures and then murder it? It held together, so cool. Would fill out rental application, take a picture of the pigeon house, use it as your thumbnail for all your baking streams. I do need to take some pictures. I'm going to wash my hands a little bit better, and I'm going to grab the camera, and we'll see if we can't take some photos of that. Please don't drop it. Oh, man. You know, at least it's delicious, okay? It has that going for it. It may not be pretty, but that, I will say, is some pretty gosh darn good gingerbread. So, let's see. This is a camera. I know how to use this. I'm a professional. I need it to be in this mode. That should do. Probably take the lens cap off. That'll help. Does this look right? So that's the back. Yeah, at least it's focused. My kitchen, like the backdrop for these photos is going to be the disaster that is my kitchen. Here, this is the real angle right here. Yeah, we should have like some montage music, like photo shoot, work it, you're beautiful, believe in yourself. You know, one of his eyes stayed up, right? Like, that's a 50% success rate. It's not like a passing grade, but could be worse. Also, I've done some spinning, and, you know, baby's still up, so proud of you. Okay, I'll throw something on Instagram so that people know I haven't died. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, iconic. All right, murder it. You and Mr. Hazel destroying it. Do it with your husband, leave it for your husband, kill it with fire, leave, photo show, kill, Instapics, murder it, leave it so you can both smash. Okay. Murder it now, pick, then murder, and then more picks. Start eating it now. Husband can appreciate the taste, but won't know how to tell if it looks since it's half eaten. Let him see it in real life first. Okay. I will let him see it, and then I will probably... I don't want to make another video out of this because there's a limit to how much baking content I can put out before people think I've quit WoW. Maybe I'll like make a time lapse and throw it. I don't want to put video on Instagram. That's gross. I don't know. I'll figure something out. I won't kill it yet, but I will kill it, and there will be probably in the Instagram post actually, because you can like add extra photos. It'll probably be like a swipe left to see the destruction kind of thing. So I'll leave it for now. Double smash time is best time. Stream had good sound, good picture, no drop frames. I am impressed. I am really impressed. I'm gonna have to wait until I actually check the VoD to see if you guys if I agree that the sound of the picture were good. And also the lighting's a little tough because like under here, I'm obviously gonna be blown out because there's a light up here, but there's not, like when I turn it off, it's too bad, and it's okay up here. So that's all right. The white balance I think was better. We used to have a very orange stream in here, and I adjusted the white balance, and I think it was better. I think this looks a little truer to life. It's not quite so orange. And then I think it went pretty good. We've been going for, what is it, 2.5 hours? Donate it to the garbage disposal. Time lapse of the house being eaten. Save a single cookie. All right, well, I'll figure out something out. In any case, thank you all very much for supporting our revival baking stream. We will be back to doing these once a month. Probably something less ambitious than this, but once a month starting in January. The subject will be voted from multiple choice. Like I select the choices, and then Patreon votes which one we make in any given month, and then I'll announce the times. They probably won't be this early again because this was early, but that was good. Thanks, guys. I hope that you have a wonderful wonderful day.